3, 2, 1. Welcome to Credit Zero.
I was telling Sarah about that a little while ago. And
Who's Sarah?
My girlfriend.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to Credit Zero.
Yay! Let's begin the episode by just cold open by bullying Luke. Darel, go ahead. Take us home.
Luke, you motherfucker. What's up with your bleeding ass, man?
Welcome to Credit Zero, everybody. The podcast by Afterschool Arcade. Yay! You weren't cheering, Darel.
Well, to be fair, half of us weren't cheering.
Well, he came in at the end.
I made sound,
yeah,
but
Drew
I
came
didn't
in.
cheer.
All right. Welcome to Credit Zero, the podcast by Afterschool Arcade.
Yay!
Darel, you were a little bit early. Welcome to the final month of March, even though we're recording this on like the 20th of February.
The final month of... Fuck, I fucked that up! Final month of March, you're right, it is the final month of March.
I keep saying the fine old. Do you guys not hear me?
I heard final.
I hear final every single time.
I'm gonna have to say different things now. Someone else, go ahead, talk about the show.
The show went quite well.
What was
in my
it?
opinion, it was
An improv show.
Yes, it's Wake Up Sheeple.
What does that mean? Presume that the people watching this podcast know nothing about who we are and what we're doing.
Well, maybe they should wake up!
Sheeple.
Just cut the episode off.
Just go to like a white noise.
Yeah.
Can you do it again?
I think it's supposed to be higher pitched, but fuck it.
No, that was good. Are you kidding me?
We got it.
That was gold.
People understand.
We're an improv troupe, and we did an improv show that was based on conspiracy theories. And this show's theme was called
Wake Up Sheeple.
and it was a lot of fun. We did this conspiracy about basically an event in someone's life and an object, and we got the fucking lamp that's always there in the location. I want to throw that fucking lamp away, for the record. We keep using it in shows, and I'm so fucking sick of it.
It's
I
weird.
remember how excited you were the first time that lamp was there. How much you wanted to use it. You were like, we could turn off the lights and just have the lamp for this Saw-themed show because it would be spooky.
And then I found out it sucked. Yeah, I was wrong.
I like that lamp.
Even though it burned some of your hair?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's fun, but also there's no lampshade, so if you look straight at it, you're looking at a naked bulb.
Oh, baby. First of all, title of my autobiography. Second of all, maybe we should get a lampshade and just put it on there and just be like, Gawkle, you've been good to us. Here you go.
Just bring a lampshade with us.
That way, if we turn on the lamp, we can just, like, have people, like, not complain, like, this lamp really hurts my eyes to look at during your fun comedy improv show.
It would have been better if, like, the gimmick of the lamp wasn't to stare in it as a character. And so we were just forcing ourselves to stare into this naked lamp the entire time.
And then in some cases, like, put our hands on it. Like, Darel, did that hurt? Darel put his hand on the fucking lamp for, like,
was
30
smoking.
seconds.
This is an incandescent bulb.
Yeah.
There was literal smoke coming off of
I
it.
tried to, in the final act of the play, I tried to take the bulb off, and it hurt too much, and I had to run and get a glove.
Well, little known fact, there's a little bit of theater magic. It looked like I was putting my hand on it, but really I was hovering
My
over.
God.
So it was
A
fake.
professional.
So it was,
So
it was hoverhand, so it was Reddit/cringe.
What?
You guys don't know about the hoverhand phenomenon?
No.
Oh, hoverhand is when you're, like, on a date with a nice lady or man or non-binary person, and you have, like, your arm over this, but you're too much of a goddamn pansy-ass, liver-lily idiot to actually put the hand down. So, like, the hand is, like, hovering above the shoulder, because you've got this fear of rejection of, like, if, like, the hand is on there, and then the person's like, what are you doing?
Right, you'll be, like, devastated.
Yeah, so you just have the hand hovering up there, especially in, like, pictures and stuff like that. And so, like, people post pictures of the hover hand to, like, Reddit and stuff
no.
like that. Yeah.
That's so sad.
It's a whole thing.
So Darel did that to the lamp.
I hover-handed the lamp.
We've got our episode name. We're going to leave now. It's a shame we have questions.
Speaking of which...
Yeah, what is this, Luke? What happens at the end of shows? Why is this?
Well, sometimes, and when I mean sometimes, I mean all the time, at the end of a show, we say, hey, if you guys have questions for the podcast, you can write them on little index cards, and we'll answer them on this very podcast. So That's what we're gonna do right now.
Holy shit.
Drew
you know
has the
what?
questions.
We ask for names every single time, and I swear, I bet you at least 4 of these questions
You know what?
will not have a name on it.
I'm pretty sure only one of them doesn't have a name on it.
Okay, that person is Idiot McGee
And
calling
I know
it now.
I know who it was, so.
Idiot McGee. Who is
actually,
oh yeah,
that's a
by
lie.
process of elimination, if there's only one without a name, you know who it is.
2 of them don't have names.
Okay, so
But
we
I
got
only know who
Idiot
one of them
McGee
is.
the second.
Okay,
Who's the
so
other one?
Idiot McGee, the
This-
original.
Oh, okay, cool.
this
on
one's
Blu-ray.
coming from Idiot McGee the second, okay?
Okay.
Because I was shuffling them up when I was reading through it.
Start with the
Got
second,
it.
sure.
All right, Idiot McGee the second asks,
How did you all meet? What made you
Stupid.
want to start a group?
you know, that's a good question. What the fuck is wrong with you, Luke?
That's pretty harsh.
No, I'm sticking to it.
That's
This is
not something
stupid.
we've ever talked about, and you're like, no, that's stupid. We shouldn't answer
It's
that.
like, oh, what's your favorite color?
For
Green.
the record, I think
Okay,
all
I'm
the
gonna get rid of that
questions are
question now.
Green, first of all. What's your favorite color?
Green.
Green,
I like a deep blue.
deep blue.
Yeah, same. Navy. I would say navy.
All right, there
I
we go.
changed mine to a deep green. Like a dark green is better than a lime green.
I'll accept lime green. I'm also good with purple. So we're a very cool colors kind of group.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
That being said, my
Why-
favorite color combination doesn't include green. It's this color combination right here.
What? Okay.
Black, white, and red.
Thank you.
So like the Nazis.
No comment.
So
Big Nazi guy, Drew?
Back to the question. How did you all meet?
I was going to make a more innocent comment about the fact that Afterschool Arcade features only warm colors, and we fucked up if we all like cool colors. Anyway,
How do we all meet? Well, we were at a rally, and
Shut up.
yeah, I was chanting White's Rule, and then Drew happened to chant White's Rule at the exact same time.
None of this happened. I mean, no, none of this happened.
You locked eyes. we just, like,
across the room.
And then nice. And then we slowly said to each other, White's Rule.
Oh man, you guys are good at this.
Drew,
Anyway.
I fed that to you on a plate, and you
It's an-
spat in my face.
It's another instance of me mishearing you. I heard what instead of white, and I was like, "What's rule? What? That doesn't make sense." No. Yeah.
God damn it! All right, hold on. Let's fix this.
Do we have to?
On 3, we chant equal rights for all races.
Yeah,
One,
okay, good.
2, 3. Equal rights for all races. All right, how do we make it?
fixed.
Now back to dumbass McGee's question.
Yep.
How did you all meet for real this time?
It wasn't at a white supremacist rally.
Yeah,
We all meet at like separate times. I think entirely through improv,
Yeah,
but with different schools.
That should have been the name of this podcast.
Entirely through improv.
Oh, I thought you said entirely true improv.
But you said it now, so
Hey,
we
truth
can
and-
make it the title.
Hey, truth and comedy. Hey,
Hey.
hey.
All right.
Set you free.
Down close.
So let's begin with the first 2 that met. So the year was, I want to say, 2015. About March thereof, I joined the improv club at Brock University, and Drew was already there, being a piece of shit as he does.
Nothing's changed.
And
Except I'm not part of Brock Improv anymore.
yeah. So some things have changed,
Yeah.
but the more things change, the more things stay the same. We're all piece of shits together now. We joined the same improv group. It would take another, I'd say, full year until Drew and I became friends.
Over a full year.
Yeah.
Because I think the Ottawa Summit was in like...
It was in March.
Was it in March? Okay, so then yeah, full year.
When Drew and I were on the competitive team for Brock Improv, which is just like every university just sort of sends out an improv team to go to different improv summits. We've talked about it before. Maybe support our podcast for once, you fucking shit. And we went to Ottawa together because no one else on the entire team wanted to go to the fucking Ottawa Summit, including the coach, for whatever
It
reason.
was just us alone on well, not alone on a bus, but like isolated on a bus.
Yeah, and we talked about like the themes of erotic stories and how weirdly often incest came up.
Yeah, and we went to like the category search to see what the most popular one was.
Incest and bestiality, yeah, I remember.
Oh,
And-
just a little anecdote.
Please.
I was listening to a podcast today, and they were going through Star Wars fan fiction.
Oh,
and
no.
the first one that came up was Luke and Leia.
Oh no.
I love you, I know. Anyway,
I know, you're my brother, of course you love me.
it kind of whatever. So yeah, there was also the birth of the famous phrase. You can find this if you search up on Twitter the # Paul Drew and Ottawa 2. One of the first ever like Paul Drew and Ottawa 2 things was just like, a picture of me smiling in Drew's face and Drew looking at me completely unamused, and the caption is, in quotes, "We just passed a Denny's," from me, and in quotes, "fascinating," from Drew, which summarizes our complete friendship.
I can't really say fascinating in front of Paul anymore because he gets flashbacks for that event.
Yeah, it goes to straight to Vietnam.
There's a couple things that are on that Twitter account that I'm not proud of that I said that I definitely didn't want you to post, but
We
don't have to talk about those.
Are we talking about the fedora one?
Yeah.
Can I talk about that
Sure,
one?
go.
Sweet. Okay, so one of those things is just a quote from Drew going like, "I no longer have white privilege because..." This really fits in with what we were talking about earlier.
It really does.
I no longer have white privilege because I wear fedoras. I'm oppressed. ... Don't fucking tweet that. How Seinfeld drew an on with you.
I don't even remember the context to that. We were talking about oppression, and I was just like, "Oh yeah, people make fun of people in fedoras all the time."
Yeah, we were talking about fedoras, and you just brought up like, "Yeah, I no longer have white privilege because I wear fedoras. I'm oppressed." You noticed I didn't talk back to you because I had my
And
phone
then I
out.
looked over.
Yeah, because I was tweeting that. Are you kidding me? Cut to the next year, about 6 months from then. Lukey boy, you joined Brock Improv Club.
Yeah, the fall of 2015.
Oh,
It
yeah,
really
the fall
was
of
the fall.
the fall of 2015.
The fall of Brock Improv.
Yeah, I was a little youngin', first year university, and I liked improv, and I needed friends, and
Oh.
like
So you
attention.
solved one problem.
Yeah,
You're no longer young.
Yeah, you're an old man. You old bitch. 3, 2, 1. You old bitch.
Yeah.
Then, Darel, you were part of Waterloo Improv while this was happening.
Yes, indeed. And actually, I was introduced to Brock Improv when I guess it was maybe the first summit I was involved in 2017, I want to say.
whoa,
2017 was your first ever summit?
I think so, yeah.
whoa,
That late?
Yeah,
Wow.
I didn't go do anything in my first year.
really? Wow,
Huh.
what's that like?
Yeah, what's it like to be, like, useless?
I did improv elsewhere.
Okay.
It was completely useless.
Sweet, dude.
All right, so anyways, in UW Improv lore,
That's University of Waterloo Improv lore.
right?
The more you know.
There's a long-standing history between UW and Brock. Apparently, when Brock hosted their first summit, UW was like the only team that came down or something like
Yeah,
that.
it
wasn't-
wasn't just the two schools.
It wasn't the first summit. I think it was the second summit. But yeah, it was like almost a catastrophe, and then like Waterloo showed up, and then it was amazing. Apparently,
Apparently,
yeah.
I don't know.
I wasn't there.
that was
They could-
before all our times.
yeah, they could be
Yeah.
making that shit up.
Yeah,
And honestly, I think they are. Improv is full of lying sociopaths.
you know who was in that team too? Mark Zuckerberg.
Mark Zuckerberg?
Yeah,
Like the founder of banana.gov?
yeah. He was in Brock Improv.
That was straight up an example of me not having any creative ideas.
Oh, words.
Oh, what's a website? Banana.gov. I was in a Twitch chat the other day, and we found out that they did not ban links in their thing. So
no.
yeah. So people did what people did best. They were like, "Oh, Pornhub," and like stuff like that. And someone put like livegirls.com. I try not to go for the too lowbrow
Very
stuff.
counterculture.
Yeah. So I put in my first link was deadgirls.com, which
Oh,
I
no.
didn't dare type in, and then like everyone kept doing like stupid like porn things. So I put in how to fuck your dad in 12steps.gov.
Why is that a government website?
Obama knows the issue. The American people need this.
Thanks, Obama.
Is that all of our origin stories of how we met? Basically, it was through improv and improv summits, and then we like. Interestingly, like Luke and I were really, really close in the year leading up to like both of our graduations. And Drew had already graduated by that point, so we kind of like deconnected, but then reconnected when we moved back
Long
into the
distance,
area.
A bit harder.
Yeah. Darel, it's really cool. Darel, I would not say I was like too close with you before we made this group, and we just sort of like we knew you and trusted you. We're just like, fucking, let's have Darel in the group.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, Darel immediately, true to Darel's spirit, was like, fuck yeah, let's do this. And we didn't really know him that well at the time. And now, I can't imagine a better person to be the best man at my wedding. Will you come?
Are you getting married?
Yeah, to Drew.
Well,
Drew. I can't imagine a better white supremacist to marry in my life.
well,
Honestly, I'll take that. I'll take that.
I don't know if that's. I don't know what to make of that.
Oh, no, wait, fuck, you're half, like, Turkish, aren't you? Oh, I'm sorry.
Half Turkish.
Luke, will you be my best man?
At a white supremacist wedding?
Well, I can't invite
That's
the
not
half
themed
Turkish
white
guy.
supremacists. It just happens to have them there.
What? You said you would. You always do this.
Look, I just want white decorations.
No
White
chocolate.
dress.
Do we want to move on?
Yes.
Vanilla cake with vanilla frosting.
Apparently, that's why the white wedding dress was like there in the first place. Not necessarily white supremacy,
purity?
but yeah,
Yeah.
not necessarily purity, but no, not even virginity.
Whoa.
But just to prove, like, hey, I'm rich, because like in the 1800s,
yes.
actually white clothing was something you'd basically get to wear once, and then you'd wash it, and in your shitty piss brown water, it would just come out shitty piss brown.
Right.
Oh, it's the old times. I can't wear white clothes.
What accent was
It changed.
It ended off Australian, but it did not
Yeah.
start there.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Cockney and then it ended Australian.
It
like
got
a lot of the.
little bit of like the deep south and like the middle of it too.
Oh, okay. If it went straight from Cockney to Australian, it's like, oh, that's the history.
They went from criminal to criminal. Right. What's the next question?
Well, this one was a two-parter, but I feel like the second part is a quick one.
Yeah.
What made you want to start a group? Simply put, we met each other through improv. We respected each other's like improv
Okay.
capabilities.
Okay,
All right.
sure.
Enough to start a group. We respected Daryl's enough to bring him in.
Okay, so this is gonna be awkward.
yes.
You are our 10th choice.
Yeah.
There was a blast email. You weren't even on that one.
I didn't even get an email.
You got
That's the thing.
BCC'd
Yeah.
on the
We have a separate group chat.
You accidentally accessed our email because you were hacking because you were bored,
That's right.
and then you just went like, "Fuck yeah, I'll join," and we were like, "Who is this?"
That's me, Hack the North. What up?
Hacksaw
Pound
Daryl.
sign Hacksaw Darel. Pound sign Hack the North.
Get into the cybernet.
Yeah, we just wanted to keep doing improv after university was over, and
Yeah.
like in university or in high school or whatever institution you find yourself in, you're really lucky to have these clubs where you do improv.
Yeah.
But trust me, that shit doesn't last, and you have to make your own institutions after like you move out of like a school institution or whatever.
Yeah, universities are really comfy and they really like build a world for you. But like when you get out of it, you have to make it yourself.
I think that's kind of like half of the reason university exists. It's not just to teach you things, but also to provide like a middle ground of like school life and work life, where it's like, hey, let's simulate a community. And look how easy it is to join these clubs. And then you're booted into the real world and you're like, I want these clubs. Guess I have to go make one or join one. And then like, yeah, it's because you went to university that you're like, yeah, I want that in the first place.
It's
Yeah.
kind of the same thing with like old people trying to make friends. To put it lightly, like it's so easy to make
It's useless.
friends.
Yeah.
It's so easy to make friends in university because you're surrounded by people, you're forced to work with them. But like making friends outside of work when you're
Yeah.
like 40,
Yeah.
I've heard, I'm not 40 yet, but I've heard it's much more challenging.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You have
Making
to join like a squash team.
making friends when you're old and making friends in university are basically like the same because they'll leave eventually.
All right,
But the old one is you're leaving the
You're
earth.
leaving the planet.
Oh no.
What? I was telling you I'm not wrong. No, join a squash team. See how long Edgar, who's like 82, will last. There is a reason he's on the bleachers half the game. It's because he's bleeding out of his ass. Yeah, Daryl?
It would be cribbage if you're old.
That's true. It's cribbage.
Or chess.
Or
Depends on
Reiki.
how old.
Reiki.
Bocce
No,
ball?
what's it?
Bocce ball?
You're thinking of
Water
mahjong.
polo,
Maybe that's it. No.
You're okay.
beach volleyball.
What are we talking about?
Tai Chi, that's it.
Tai Chi.
Yeah.
You thought Tai Chi was Reiki, and you might have thought mahjong was called Reiki.
Maybe.
I'm starting to lose track of what Chinese things are what. Is Tai Chi even Chinese? I don't
I
think it
don't
is.
know. Tai Chi is the slow martial art. Reiki is the.
I know what Tai Chi is. I take it, you fucking
Okay.
claw.
I'm doing this for the listener.
You are such a piece of
I'm
piss.
doing this for the listener.
You're a
Tai
clog,
Chi-
you're a piece of piss, and you're a bloody ass.
Oh my god. Tai Chi is the slow martial art.
What are you still doing here?
Oh my god. Fuck this.
What's the next question?
Okay. This next
Google
one,
everything.
This next question is from Douglas,
Oh,
E.
Douglas. Shout out to Douglas.
Dougie
Oh,
boy,
Douglas.
Dougie boy.
my
Please,
father,
doctor.
Darth Vader.
Dimitri's most prestigious roommate.
Yeah, well,
Ex-roommate. Bye, Dimitri. You weren't worth Douglas.
What happened there? I never heard about
he moved
that.
back to Jamaica.
Dimitri was from Jamaica?
Yeah.
That
we
was the last country I was expecting.
Talked about that.
I'm pretty sure I said that on the first
Yeah,
podcast.
I remember that.
Yeah, we totally
Yeah,
forgot.
we totally-
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah,
I
it's so
remembered
great.
it.
You
I
remember,
remembered it. Dimitri was from Jamaica.
That's like a thing they put in like the Get Smart movie as a joke. It's like, this is Dimitri. He's from Jamaica.
Dimitri was great.
'cause
We talked about like lizards, the way that we have like squirrels and raccoons. They have like iguanas that just sort of like chill on your window and just like sit there, and you have to like bang them off and get them to go away.
I feel like I'm making a Steve Buscemi face. All right. What's the question from Dimitri? No, from Douglas, your dad, daddy boy.
Starting,
We definitely talked about Jamaica.
This one is relevant to the show.
Oh, no.
So to all you non-watchers of our improv, get ready.
Inside joke alert.
That's not. In honor of your show's theme song, the Goblin Song.
What?
What?
Oh yeah. Totally.
Okay, got to the question. It's already a good one.
Explain yourself, Darel. What the fuck was the Goblin song? I do not remember this.
I remember
the song
that.
at
Yeah.
the beginning of the show. The
I don't wanna
Alex
see you
Jones
kissing goblins.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Hold on. This.
I don't want to see him.
All right. So go on.
Smooth. Explain a way that a goblin could be brought into your improv group.
Did you put on the remix version that's like 4 hours
yeah,
long?
The first like 3 hour long.
Wait. Could you say that question again?
So basically, like, explain how if a goblin wanted to join our group, how we would make it work.
I mean, we almost had Haven join the group.
So mean. That's a real person.
Fine. Do you want me to change it to the other person that was originally going to join the group?
I saw a picture of him playing piano the other day. He is not a goblin.
No, he's not. He's very tall. He's closer to like one of those giants. But
Like an
the,
ent.
But like the BFG.
He's a
I was thinking.
Fomorian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Which is not a compliment, by the way.
He's from Orient.
Fucking guy.
Big friendly giant. Big fucking guy. BFG. Look at this big fucking guy. Oh my god. Oh yeah, he walks in. Big fucking guy. How do we get a goblin to join the troop? Honestly,
It depends on like what kind of goblin we're looking at, right?
the trouble is, Goblin feels a certain niche, and I feel like, Luke, I mean this in a genuine way, but also in a complimentary way, you totally already fill that niche.
Like
Where,
we don't need both of them.
yeah, where you already play hobbled over characters to go, yeah, and like point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Literally someone I know calls that my goblin character.
Yeah. That's me. Hi.
That is you.
yeah, dumbass.
To answer the question more directly, explain a way that a goblin could be brought into your improv group.
Yeah,
we
Luke
would
would have
make
to-
space.
Luke would have to die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
No, I'm saying that. I'm not even saying we would make space as in like, oh, Luke, we've had a good run and goodbye. I'd rather have Luke in the group than a random goblin. Because Luke fills the niche and is a friend of mine.
more.
Yeah, and more, and is a friend of mine. And that goblin is not a friend.
Not yet.
Yeah, this is
If you got closer, does that challenge
you're-
our relationship?
No, you're fine. What I'm saying is I would not replace you that willy-nilly, and you're getting offended.
But like, if a goblin got close to you as close as we were, would I be out of the picture?
Hypothetically.
No.
Cool.
This is only a hypothetical, remember. I don't know if it's safe for me to say, but I'm going to say it anyways. I'm kind of racist. I don't like goblins.
Wow. Okay, and we thought I was the bad one.
Can we clip out?
Yeah,
I'm kind of racist.
That's our bleep sound for this.
Great. Great.
It's always Darel digging himself a deeper hole. What's
Just a mashup of him just be like, I'm kind of racist, bitch.
And then, with me for the dog. All right, what's the next question?
This one's from two people. All right, it's a double feature.
From?
Mike and Cassandra.
So it's one question from two people, the opposite of a double feature. It's a half feature.
You're right.
Yeah,
It's a
it's like a
collaborative effort.
chur.
Sure.
It's a chur.
It's a fee.
Wasn't the like most recent like Marvel movies made by two brothers? Like that's like a thing, right?
Oh my god, was Endgame made by the Coen brothers?
Mario and Luigi.
That would be so cool.
Yes, Mario and Luigi.
That was like a tier list of different responses from Afterschool Arcade. Made by two brothers, Coen brothers, Mario and Luigi.
The script says I should say it's a me, Captain America, but I don't really feel like that's right for my character.
Darel, I'm starting to think that you're replacing me as like the podcast dumbass that just says the things.
It's fine.
Somebody's got to do it.
That's fair.
We don't have a goblin for it.
We haven't gotten to the question yet.
We haven't. The question is, what's your favorite conspiracy theory?
Ooh, very topical.
Okay, so favorite doesn't necessarily imply that you believe it the most.
No,
Right.
it's the most fun.
The one you're more entertained by.
Yeah.
Like for me, I don't know any of the details about it, but there was a conspiracy that like the years after like 1658 or something were all made up, and that it's actually currently like 1714.
Oh, I've heard of that. Yeah.
And like I don't know if that's like there's any like reason to make a conspiracy like that, but I just find it funny that people were like, "Oh, the Industrial Revolution? That didn't happen. We just had computers." And people just made that up.
Okay, yeah, I like that.
Are you sure it's not like it's an error in math that we're just calling it a different number?
No, like it's like the things that happened in those 300 years were made up, and then like the people who remember it just
That's
like
horrible.
don't exist anymore.
That sucks. That's dumb.
I'm gonna have to think about this.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of conspiracies.
Yeah.
I don't know, like I found that conspiracy looking up conspiracies for the show, just like to see how ludicrous they get.
I think lizard people is maybe my favorite.
My brain immediately went lizard people. I was like, oh, there's got to be something better.
Yeah, but it's just like it's so like so many things would have to go right, and so many secrets would have to be kept in order for that to be true. And it just like it's not like, oh, they faked the moon landing, or like the JFK assassination was planned by Lyndon Johnson. It's like there are aliens around and you don't know, and they eat your children. It's like, what the hell? What the hell?
Running the government.
What the hell?
I think we're living in a simulation has got to be my favorite.
That's a trippy one, yeah.
Number one, because like the thing that gets me the most is that the people who are the most adamant that we're living in a simulation are all the ones who go like, you're an idiot for believing in God. How dare you believe that it's so stupid for you to assume that our universe was made by an intelligent creator. Anyway, we're probably living on Elon Musk's computer. It's like, that's the exact same thing as believing in God. Like, the only difference between believing in God and believing in, like, the simulation is believing that the thing that controls the universe is, like, living and breathing and ultimately, like, mortal, as opposed to, like, this spiritual deity.
Yeah.
That's the only fucking difference. You still believe in God, ultimately, if you believe we're living in a simulation.
Yeah.
You just believe that the God is fallible.
Yeah.
And so did the Greeks. You're not fucking special.
Yeah.
All right. So I don't know if this is a conspiracy theory, but I did hear it being spoken once, and I thought this is a very strange phenomena that somebody believes, more than one person believes.
You're on your way to a good sentence, Darel.
So, you know, a little bit of backstory.
Jesus, that wasn't enough?
I work in a mall a lot, and so I run into a lot of, you know, people that don't necessarily have anything to do during the day. So, they just sort of wander the mall and
They wander them all.
Yeah.
They wander them all.
That was the joke.
Yeah.
And so this one man, I chatted him up a little bit, and he said, you know, there's really no point in washing your hands because
What?
all of the germs on your hands have like they've been used to so much rubbing and soap and stuff that they're immune to the washing.
Is this why I haven't gotten sick despite like never washing my hands ever since I was
No,
born?
are you on board with this?
I haven't showered either.
Please get off my bed.
Dude. Are those the same pukey pants from like 20 episodes ago?
I mean, probably, but they're washed.
Oh.
2 episodes ago. Well, now 3.
Yeah.
Quick maths.
Okay, I want to change my answer in light of Daryl's thing, but as long as you're finished. But
I'm done, yeah.
okay, so scenario. End of grade 8. I'm walking home from a place my bus drops me off, and there's this one woman, and she's already walking, and I'm very unsuspecting of strangers. I'm sure everyone.
Good trait.
Everyone on this podcast has a different story of how I approached someone who clearly I didn't know and reacted in a way where, like, normal people would not act that way with a complete stranger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
So, yeah, we just started walking. She's just like, can I walk with you? And I said, yeah, no problem. And, like,
Can I walk with you?
yeah, well, it was just like we were just walking along the same fucking road. And, like, there will be times when you're, like, just hanging out with people, and then they'll start with the conspiracy theory, like, maybe 10 minutes into the conversation.
You think they're normal, and then they just drop that
And,
shit on
like,
you?
the 10 minutes in mark is the, oh, no, like that moment.
And you're already so deep, it's hard to get out.
Yeah.
So this woman was talking about how, like, life was going well, but she'd been suffering from, like, dizzy spells and feeling faint, going unconscious and stuff like that. And I go, like, oh, that's very unfortunate, blah, 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 blah. And then she talked about how when she was unconscious, she'd tap into the mind of, like, someone who's ruling the world, like Obama or something like that. And she'd talk about all the terrible things that Obama has planned because she's been inside his mind and she's seen it. And she tried to make him not think about those things anymore. And that, you know, in a couple of years, if he does blankety blank thing, we'll know if she succeeded or not. I think that's been my favorite conspiracy theory. The woman who, when she blacked out, saw into evil satanic Obama's mind and just went like, I gotta stop him from nuking Iran. And you know what? I don't recall Iran getting nuked any time when Obama
She
was president.
succeeded.
She saved the world. Margaret, I assume that's your name because she looked old. Good job. Do you remember that person who was obsessed with Justin Trudeau cupping when we went to that pharmacy that one time?
What?
No, I don't remember.
Cupping? What is cupping?
Cupping is when you, like, I'm not sure if you were away and it was Jeff and I who were at that, whatever.
Okay.
So basically, cupping is when you, like, take a cup that's, like, heated, and you
okay.
apply it to your skin, and it raises the skin, and it brings the blood to the skin, and it produces a high and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And there was this one woman who stopped. I'm 90% sure it was Luke and I, in, like, a pharmacave in the Penn Center near St. Catharines, where we lived at the time. And she was talking to us about, like, how Justin Trudeau was cupping and, like, how he was getting involved in some shady shit. And we were like, okay, lady. And then she went along, and I went on my phone and just went, I'm just gonna check. And I googled Justin Trudeau cupping. There was a lot of evidence to suggest that he was. It's not a bad thing. It's basically like a president doing a seance or doing, like, tarot reading where it's like, man, I don't believe in that, but whatever.
It's actually more, like, closer to, like, Reiki. It's like ancient Chinese medicine.
Oh, so it's like Mahjong.
Tai Chi?
Yeah. Yeah. I had an experience with a guy who, like, less than a minute went into a conspiracy theory as soon as I met him. It was a taxi driver, and I was bringing my dementia.
I was bringing my A game, my dementia A game. Who are you?
My dementia-ridden grandmother home. So, like, that's a ball that I had to juggle in the air, that I had to convince her that this was, like, the senior's home was her home, because she didn't believe me.
That's sad.
Yeah, yeah.
There's like a gold mine of jokes you can make about that, but when it comes to dementia, you really
just
just
sad.
can't.
Yeah, and, like, couldn't know, like, wouldn't understand where we were going, getting a little bit upset, but I'm trying to do that to, like, trying to calm her down while the taxi driver is, like, almost talking over us, being like, you know, your weather is engineered.
That's amazing. You're just like, okay, now the dementia thing is funny again because you just, like, try to drag this woman home and she's like, that's not my home. Meanwhile, behind you're just, like, in a taxi. Obama's controlling the weather.
No, he was the driver.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
okay.
That's what I'm saying. I'm picturing you getting out of the car, just going, fuck it, we'll walk from here.
Oh, okay.
And your grandma's just like, I don't want to, I live in San Diego. And he's just, like, rolling down his window going, like, lizard people!
Yeah,
Man,
no,
that
but
must
it's
be
like,
so chaotic. Like
Yeah.
the cacophony of everything.
yeah, and it's like my grandmother does not need to hear about this right now.
No, no.
Was your grandma like, he's right, you know?
She was just sort of like, oh, okay, but like, where are we going?
But more pressing matters.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, no, that was tough. That was tough. And I was just sort of like, yeah, uh-huh. And he was like going like, and I've been to Gravenhurst and I've seen these myself, like on the plains. They have these chemtrails is also one of the things that like makes me very angry when people believe in it. Like
Yeah.
I irrationally, or like, I think that it's rational to not believe in chemtrails, but I get irrationally angry when people do.
Yeah.
Like you take it personally almost.
Yeah, and I like really, I go out of my way to debate them being like, why do you think this? And it just bugs me a lot.
I mean, the kernel of truth in chemtrails is like, hey, it is bad that we spew jet fuel into our fucking atmosphere. That, you know, at the very least in chemtrails, there's like a kernel of truth. With the lizard people thing, it's like bad. With the fucking one thing that I do not abide and will not forgive people if they earnestly think, the false
Scientology.
actors. No, much worse, much worse. Scientology's hilarious. The false actors thing with things like Sandy Hook, where it's
Oh,
like,
yeah, yeah.
those
Oh, yeah,
kids
right,
didn't
right,
die and those parents are actors. It's like, how fucking dare you?
Yeah, that's so shitty.
Yeah,
that
and
is
there's
so shitty.
and there's no kernel of truth in that.
Yeah.
In the chemtrails thing, it's like this weird like climate
Anxiety.
change. Yeah, it's climate anxiety. Thank you.
Yeah.
Climate anxiety, but taken to an nth degree in a wrong direction. It's like
Yeah.
I can at least respect where you're coming from, not where you've arrived. Piece of shit. I always love the graffiti artists that spray paint like chemtrails are real on buildings, where it's like, wow, you're using real aerosols to protest fake ones. Neat.
Yeah, and even like the lizard people, like the sort of the
Kernel of
archetypal.
truth.
Okay, hear me out. The archetypal kernel of truth is that like there are people who control that, like things that don't share our values.
Yeah, yeah.
But,
And there are
like,
people
that's-
who like have control over things where we, as individuals, don't get a say over them. I see what
Yeah,
you're saying.
and they like we
Yeah.
suffer, but it's
Yeah.
like they're not aliens.
yeah.
Is that like the meetings that are like, it starts with a B, like the fan?
The something group.
yeah,
yeah,
those
yeah.
are like rich
Friends.
people or whatever.
Build-A-Bear. Bilderberg, yeah. The
something like that.
Bilderberg group.
Botulism meetings.
I mean,
Yeah,
probably.
They're all
And the-
sick.
The thing about that is some of those are real, like the Bilderberg group, and like we don't know why what they talk
But they
about.
meet.
Bing
We don't get the
Crosby
notes,
meetings.
The minutes.
Bing and Smacker.
I think it's the
meetings.
Bilderberg group.
That sounds right.
yeah.
How do you guys feel about another question?
Bob the Builder
no,
meetings.
that's-
Bob the
Down.
Builder meetings are fucked.
Can we fix it? Yes, we can. And like they mean the weather.
Can we fix it? The economy.
What's the next question, Drew?
All right, so this one is from Julia, courtesy of Sarah, who transcribed it for us.
Oh, we like both of
Because
those.
Julia wasn't able to attend the show as she was in BC skiing.
Yeehaw.
She has a time machine? Before Christ?
So the question...
Before Christ.
That's actually very good because some of our listeners might be American and they may be very confused.
British Columbia.
All right.
There we go. Thank you, Darel, for spinning my bullshit into a positive thing. Bullshit meetings. I should have... Whatever. Bullshit meetings.
Enough about
Big
meetings
friendly
that start with a B, and we will answer this question momentarily. If you could speak to animals for 1 hour, what would you say? And I'm gonna also add, like, which animal would you want to speak to?
Humans.
Well,
Yeah, that'd be
humans
cool.
You can already speak. Well, not all of them.
No, I can't. I really can't.
Yeah,
I'm
most of the
awkward.
world doesn't.
If all your social anxieties went away for 1 hour, what would you
Yeah.
say?
Also, so much of the world doesn't speak English.
Yeah.
So
You know
So,
what?
Like, theoretically, yeah, you could count different languages for humans.
Yeah, I got an answer for this. I'd want to speak to crows, and I'd want to like pick their brains about like how they process problems, because crows are like one of like 5 species on Earth that have the mental capacity to realize that they need like an item, like food or something like that, and so they'll pick up a tool in order to get a tool in
Yeah,
order
yeah,
to
yeah.
get to
They're
the
one of the
food.
few like problem-solving animals.
Yeah. And I'd love to figure out like in some cases like my mom and I watched that documentary together like years and years ago when I was
Is that
still
the
in
nature
grade.
of things?
Might have been.
I remember that.
When I was still in grade school, and I remember my mom just sitting there going, "I've got coworkers who can't do this."
Was that the one where they also like where the crows recognize faces and then like young crows
Maybe.
and they did an experiment where like crows could recognize faces from like
yeah.
their parents telling them.
I think so. I was in
like-
grade school, dude.
Yeah, like it can recognize a human face by description.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like this would really upset me, but I'm kind of on the opposite end of you. Like, whereas you want to talk to smart animals, I want to talk to,
Snails.
like, the dumb animals that, like, because I can, like...
Hey,
Because
I'm a snail. I'm a jellyfish. I mean, they don't have brains. I feel like if we could talk to animals, we have to qualify that they even would have the ability to do any kind of communication
right,
whatsoever.
like, what they need, like, a mouth or would be, like, telepathy.
Yeah, you need to talk to vertebrates.
Yeah. I feel like... But, like, crows, like, you want to talk to them because they're closer to us. I want
Not closer to us, smarter than us. I want to find the smartest crow on the fucking planet and go like, how can I be more like you? And he'd be like,
Yeah, it
Fly.
says you can talk to them. It doesn't say they
fly
can talk
around.
back.
Just
But,
fly
like,
over.
I want to see how like dogs, like animals that are like somewhat smart but more like not intellectual based.
oh, you
and
want to talk to your stupid dog Bentley?
I do want to talk to Bentley, but like animals that don't process things the same way we do.
Okay.
Like they process it more based off like instinct and emotion. I want to see what that would look like, and also. It would definitely upset me, but I would want to talk to like farm animals and stuff, like pigs and cows and chickens.
That
and stuff
would
we
upset.
eat.
Yeah.
And like, but I feel like I'd feel really guilty if I had the opportunity to do it and didn't take it.
I mean, that's
Regardless
such
of if
a.
I would become a vegetarian afterwards or not.
That would be such a catch-22 because even if you became a vegetarian, you'd have to witness like us eating burgers afterwards,
Yeah,
and like
and it was like,
hear the
"That's
burger's
Henry."
thoughts.
yeah, you'd remember back to your conversation with old Bessie when she's like, "I love life, and I'm so happy that I can spend my life dedicated to my offspring one day," and then you just have to watch Bessie die the next day. That's
I feel like a cow's
Yeah.
not that smart.
And you can like
My offspring.
you can hear
Maybe.
Like, oh, like.
well, yeah, cows don't
grass.
have a word for offspring. My kids. There you go. My kids. That's what the cow. You're just gonna talk to the
calves.
cow and just be like, "Hey, cow, how do you? My kids.
My veal.
My kids."
Where'd my kids go?
Oh, that's sad. I mean, yeah, if you could talk to animals, realistically speaking, that's probably what would happen. You'd talk to, like, a dog, and they'd be like, food! Food!
Where's that popcorn bowl? I smell it.
Yeah, that's exactly why, I don't know, I'd have a problem asking questions to these animals because they don't have introspection like we
Why
do.
not?
Like, they don't have a sense of self.
Talk to an octopus.
or a dolphin. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, these are some of the smarter creatures on the planet, but still, they don't, it's not shown that they have an understanding of who they are.
Octopi do.
They haven't
They're
gone
just
through
very
the dolphin
individualist
phase. Yeah.
and don't care about other
Dolphins
things.
do.
Octopi are really interesting because they're like hella smart, but they live like 20 years, so they don't like gather wisdom the same way humans do.
Whoa, shit.
Do they gather knowledge the same way that humans do?
Like the same process, but they don't retain it for as long as
do
they're
they gather?
dead.
Do they gather debt as long as we do?
I don't think so.
Debt?
Capitalism is a social construct, guys.
Well, what if it's an octopi construct? What if they're like 12... What do they collect? Rocks, please.
12 rocks, please.
Maybe shells. I can see shells.
Yeah, you could see shells by the seashore.
I'd like to talk to.
Jesus Christ.
I'd like to talk to dolphins. Yeah.
I appreciate that Daryl's role of this podcast has been pretty much split down the middle, half the stupidest shit I've ever heard, and the other half like going, Christ, guys, at the stupidest
Judging
shit
the
he's ever heard. What animals would you talk to then, Daryl?
Yeah, definitely the... Gonna glaze over that. Definitely like the underwater creatures. I was thinking a dolphin anyways. Or
Okay.
like an orca whale.
Is that like what they sound like?
Yeah.
It'd be
Yeah.
interesting to talk to an animal that like lives in 3D, like the way
All
like,
of them
sea
do,
creatures
dumbass.
Like, or well, it's not 4D, but like in the way that like we live in 2D in that we can move on a two-dimensional plane, the ground,
You can
the
jump.
gravity.
You can jump, yeah.
Yeah, but like
We can fly. Wilbur and Orville Wright. Louis Armstrong made a song about it. They all laughed.
fine on an
Will and his
everyday
brother.
basis.
When the
You know
man
what I
can
mean.
fly. Who's got the last laugh now? It's a good, catchy song.
Is that your Louis Armstrong impression?
No. Hold on.
We got the last laugh now.
Passing trees of green.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey there, Kevin.
I see what you mean, though. That like they're the medium that they live in is viscous enough that they can travel as easily upward as they can down.
Yeah, and they have to be aware of more things around them.
Yeah.
Louis Armstrong's about to throw up.
Yeah, he's just like, but he's like really gentle about it. He knows it's gonna be a small one, so he's just like standing in front of his toilet, just going.
Well, it sounds like a hairball.
Or like he's in between sets in a bar band and he's smoking a lot.
Yeah, so he's just clearing his throat. Does that adequately answer? I'd talk to Louis Armstrong. What's the next question?
Animal.
Well, what?
Talk to a
Filthy
leprechaun.
animal.
Why is it a bad thing that I talk to Louis Armstrong? I said humans. Don't look at me when I'm talking to you, Lukey boy.
Don't look at me.
For the love of Christ.
Jinx, you only
For
coke.
for fuck's love of Christ.
What's the next question?
All right. This one is from Emily.
All right, Emily. We fucking love Emily. Quick shout out to fucking Emily and Biggie Bones, who are very kind and support us in grand ways on our Patreon at patreon.com/afterschoolarcade.
We are
Thank
legally
you.
obligated to shout you out, so thank you very much.
Not legally, but
By honor,
all right. So what's the next
we
question?
are honor bound to shout you out. Anyway, so if someone is going to die,
And they are.
this one's pretty morbid. If someone is going to die, who would each of you nominate for death?
Is this like
It does
within the
not
group?
have to be someone within the troop,
Oh,
as specified in brackets.
What the fuck, man? Just
if
somebody
someone
in the
had
world?
to, like, we had to, basically, they had to die right now
It's
by
like
God's
the-
wrath, but we chose which one.
It's like the lever, like the train,
The trolley problem.
trolley problem.
You
was
said
thinking-
every word except
Not really.
I was thinking more like Sophie's Choice, but yeah, all right.
But you don't have to know them.
Is Hitler still alive?
No.
Oh,
That's a conspiracy theory.
Hey, nice.
Yeah, he lives on the dark side of
definitely
the
be
moon.
dead.
Man, I was trying to set things
I
up.
feel
I was
like
going to be
even
like,
if he
is
wasn't
Hitler
alive,
still alive? And people would be like, no. And I'd be like, oh, thank God. And now that's ruined.
Even
So we
if
just
he
started yelling at
escaped,
you.
even if he escaped, he'd be so dead. He
Maybe.
was like 40 in 1939.
Yeah?
That makes him like 130 years old.
Yeah.
I think,
Yeah.
roughly.
Hitler was a tough guy. Anyway, okay, so Hitler's off the table.
Yeah. Stalin.
Stalin's dead.
Oh.
Thank God.
Oh no.
All right, so we have to choose. We have to choose someone famous because if I say someone like from my own life,
That lady you met at the bus stop.
That's a good one.
That's mean.
What if
doesn't
just
know.
like some old man?
She stopped a nuke, so we can't choose her.
also it wasn't even a bus stop. It was like I grew up in a rural neighborhood, so it was just like where the bus stopped me off because they didn't want to drive all the way up to my
It wasn't
fucking
an
house.
official bus stop.
Yeah, no, it was just like where I happened to get dropped off. It wasn't even like a bus stop where kids get dropped off. It was
The
just
end
like
of the street.
yeah, genuinely. So I would not want that lady to die. She was nice.
Why can't we just say like some old man?
Why does it have to be a man?
I just said some old person. I don't know.
Yeah,
know,
this
man.
is
I guess
this is.
it depends if you want to use this to change the world.
Thanks for supporting us on Patreon, but this is a shitty question because, like, choosing a
kind of, like,
famous
implicates
it implicates me. Choosing a famous person is a cop out, and choosing someone from my personal life, no one will know, and the few people that know them would get really uncomfortable at me going, "Yeah, I would kill this person."
Didn't you wish death upon one of the former prime ministers of Canada?
Well, I do that for a lot of former prime ministers of Canada. Are we talking about Bonfire Borden? Because he was a piece of shit. He's dead already, but sorry,
it was-
Bonfire Bennett.
It was the one you wrote the letter to. I
Jean
can't remember.
Chrétien.
Yeah, Jean Chrétien.
I don't wish him death.
Didn't
You did it on an earlier podcast.
You know what? I'd kill Justin Trudeau. Hell, if I had the resources, I'd kill him right now.
Is this camera still on?
I just want to see, like, can I get in trouble for, like, I am going to kill Justin Trudeau
If you say
on...
a date, you will get arrested.
Sweet. On March 12th.
Oh my god!
At 3:06 p.m.
You could have said a
in-
date in the past.
in the house, all right? I am going to...
2019.
No, 2020.
No, 2019.
2020 on March 12th at 3:06 p.m. I am going to come up to Justin Trudeau in the what's it called, the House of Commons?
Yeah.
I'm not giving you her.
in the House of Commons and just kill him in cold blood.
Don't
I'll find a way. Don't you worry.
don't be there, Mr. Trudeau.
Oh, what do you care? He's a dead man. Anyway, that's how you commit career suicide.
Well, I mean, in all fairness, he is a cupper.
Yeah, that's
He
true.
is a cupper. Yeah.
He's a piece of shit to boot. I don't care for him.
Just kill him with fire. He'll like it.
Oh, speaking of, did everyone notice when I made that dig at Justin Trudeau? This is not going to be an evergreen portion of the podcast, but while we're recording this, the Wet'suwet'en people and Trudeau are having a bit of a chin wag, and there was one point when Darel played an American and came up to me and was like, you're a bully, huh? Are all people from your country bullies? Or is your prime minister a bully? And I said, well, only to native Canadian people. And everyone in the audience went, oh.
There was a legitimate recoil from the audience.
I do not regret anything. Do you think I'll actually get arrested? From what I just said there?
I don't know.
I feel like you won't.
The
but
answer is not definitely no.
If you get arrested for something else, this will be used against you.
Oh, definitely. I feel like if the court of law actually uses this as evidence, I'll be totally morally feeling okay about it, because it's so fucking clear that I'm not actually, on March 12th at 3:06 p.m. in the House of Commons or wherever the fuck you're gonna be, Trudeau, gonna murder him, you know? It's just a hypothetical. It's real. It's coming. I'm coming for you. I'm gonna find you,
This is
and
how
I'm gonna
Alex
kill
Jones
you.
got canceled.
We
Also, not a lot of people listen to this, so...
Yeah.
demonetized.
No! We lost our sponsor, Quaker Oats. How could you? There we go. That's the person I'd kill, because, again, this is a very complicated and not easy to answer question. And I don't mean in the, I need to think about this way, in the, everything way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the violence is not the answer way.
Yeah, don't ever kill...
To be fair, the question asks who would you essentially
You
wish
have
death
to,
upon.
yeah.
You don't have to kill them. They just die.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be, for the record, anybody listening to this, do not do any, imitation crimes. Do not kill Justin Trudeau, because I'm going to on March 12th at 3:06 p.m.
If
No
he's still
copycats.
alive on March 13th, don't go try to kill him.
Yeah, it just means I failed. Oh, well.
Yeah, life goes on.
Yeah, you can accept your failures and not have to try twice. And honestly, if you survived, Mr. Trudeau, good game. All right, I'm good with this question.
I feel like we should brush up on a little bit of Canadian law after this episode. Because I know that's a thing in American law, is that it's not considered a hate crime to say that you want to kill a certain race unless you say that you're going to do it on a certain date.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, fascinating. And now I'm on a list. Can we name this podcast? There's so many good names for this. Can I please call it Tweed Breaks the Law again?
Yeah.
Again, yeah. ...
You know, I'll find all the appropriate titles and just run them by you guys before I post the episode. All right, next question. Unless you guys want to answer who you wish death upon.
I don't know. I'm I
feel
have
like
a
Drew-
hard time making decisions, which is not surprising, full stop.
Yeah.
But especially in terms of politics and stuff, being the judge on certain situations, because there's just so many different sides and so many facets that I don't understand.
There's
usually clear-cut bad people.
there's also nobody that I could wish death upon or could kill. The closest I can come to is someone who I know is a piece of shit, and it's I don't wish death upon them, but in the hypothetical where you have to wish death upon this person,
Right.
this person's a fucking sociopath. I guess it's gonna be them, because I can't think of anybody the fuck else, because they're just gonna make lives terrible for other people. I guess shoot Lassie
Sorry,
between
old
the eyes.
yeller.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'd kill? War.
That's a cop out. Next question.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
Wait, no, Darel, you said you'd kill people.
Sure. I'll go on in on this.
Justin Trudeau, March 12th, 3:06 p.m.
No.
I could use an accomplice.
I'm going to...
If I get arrested, you get arrested too. If anyone's listening to this from law enforcement, Darel helped me.
It's like the double feature thing all over again, but it's a...
Yeah.
it's a double homicide. No, wait.
No, here's who I would kill.
Okay.
In the news, recently I heard there was a man...
Peter Mansbridge?
No, he's not in the news anymore.
Oh, thank
How
goodness.
old are you?
Back in my day. What, you're asking that?
Yeah.
You old bitch. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, so in the news I heard that there's a man turning 100 today. Not today, but like very soon in March.
no.
sometime. And so I
You'll
think,
never get the chance.
I feel like
No one deserves this.
when he does turn 100, not right away, not like today, but when he does turn 100, I feel like that's a good place to end it.
Just
you know?
cap
just
it
like-
off.
Yeah.
No one man should have this power.
I love how that's the sound that his gun makes as well.
Yeah. It's like an Uzi.
Did I fire 5 or 6?
Well, to be honest, I don't know.
I don't really care.
I fired a lot of bullets.
Fired a lot of us.
Well, punk, check it out. All right, next question. We've exhausted anything that could like lead us to me to getting arrested. If I do get arrested, that's so hilarious. Please like post that on like the Afterschool Arcade like Facebook page because I'll wear that as a badge of fucking honor.
In your like your little 4-point bio or whatever
Yep.
on the Patreon, just have got arrested.
It'll be like the best miscarriage of justice in history because everyone will be able to tell that I'm joking, and then it'll be like call into question like how should the law be structured if someone does say that they're going to kill Justin Trudeau at March 12th at 3:06 p.m. Fucking like. Oh, maybe I should call it March 12th at 3:06 p.m. Fuck, there's so many good names. Like, people ask, like, okay, so if he gave the date, but it's so very clear that he's not going to do it,
Right.
should we still keep it like that? And, like, the people who are, like, supporting the podcast will be like, it's so clear he didn't want to do this. I'm not sure how many people will be in, like, favor of the fact that I'm, like, being wasted government resources by being called in and being tried for
But
what I
that's not
believe
really
would
on
be
you.
treason at this point. It would be treason, wouldn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
I guess that's like sort of related to the pug thing that happened a while ago, right? The saluting pug in Britain.
Oh,
There was
you're
a
talking
saluting
about Count Dankula?
Yeah, he got arrested because he taught his girlfriend's pug how to like
Seek
he
Heil.
would say Heil Hitler, and the pug would raise
Oh,
his arm.
no. Well,
Yeah.
that's
He was
It was
also
a joke,
but
Yeah.
also
like he
he
got arrested for it.
also bear in mind he is a Nazi. Like he is like
Yeah.
he
Like I don't know anything
Yeah.
about it, but even if he is a Nazi, doing something as a joke should get you arrested.
off the record, controversial opinion, Hitler, pretty terrible guy.
yeah no
Whoa, man.
Yeah.
Chill out, okay?
Sorry.
I mean, he's kind of a jerk, really.
He did kill Hitler, but he also killed the guy who killed Hitler.
It really is just as bad.
Yeah. Next question.
Okay. So this is from another unnamed source.
Ooh.
The original unnamed source, actually.
What was it? What were they called?
Clintons.
Fucko McGee or something like that?
Like dumbass something, Dumbo McGee.
idiot McGee.
Idiot McGee, maybe. Yeah.
McGee.
That's probably not.
People
right.
can rewind.
However, that being said, this one does come with a cute little picture of a duck.
Oh, is it Sig Heiling?
It's singing. It's got a music note.
This is our most problematic episode, and we've had
You
so many
called me
episodes.
a white supremacist at the very
Yeah,
beginning.
Paul,
And
this is
fa-
all you,
it's on
man.
And you threatened to kill the prime minister.
Multiple times. We tried to cover it up. You're like, no, I'm giving you the exact date and the exact time.
Oh, this is hilarious. Do you find that funny, Mr. Droda?
We should just go back to talking about sex like we normally do.
Yeah, that's nice.
When was your last threesome, Daryl?
So anyway,
Hey, what's the question?
why do birds suddenly appear every time you're near?
Oh.
Oh,
It's got a little picture of a duck.
because the birds are in on it. They also want to kill Justin Trudeau, the president.
What's that, like, joke?
They're,
what's that meme conspiracy theory that Reagan killed all the birds and replaced them with spies?
Oh, like, yeah.
Why do we not say that as our favorite conspiracy
It's
theory?
not a real conspiracy theory.
I
It's
do
a
like
meme one.
Yeah, I do like the meme conspiracy that birds aren't real.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why do birds suddenly appear every time you're near? Because, my darling dear, I am King Lear. That's my answer to yeah.
Back to this isn't that funny, but I guess one of my another conspiracy theory that just came up was that Reagan invented AIDS.
Well, okay, so there's the kernel of truth in that as well. AIDS became
Yeah.
a very political disease very quickly, and, like, Reagan was notified by then Surgeon General Everett Koop, I believe.
Yeah.
Who was like, yeah, this is going to take off and be a terrible epidemic.
Oh, yeah.
And then the Reagan administration just basically went, okay, so who is it affecting? Homosexuals and drug addicts? Well, don't they deserve what they get? This is the best tool our administration could have. And they actually, like, in that meeting, said that AIDS was like a good thing.
Yeah. They were horrible during the AIDS crisis.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, yeah. It was fucking terrible. And Everett Koop, to his dying day, said, like, yeah, Reagan was kind of a piece of shit for that. And Everett Koop, not a good person either.
Yeah. And I was listening to a podcast about the AIDS crisis, too, and that, like Reagan knew Rock Hudson, and he was a Hollywood actor. He knew gay people, and he wasn't even that homophobic, but he's just like, oh, well, it's just better politically.
He wasn't homophobic on, like, the individual scale. He was still very homophobic by just nature of, like...
policy.
Yeah, exactly. By politics and, like, everything, just making sure...
Oh, yeah.
Fuck these people.
Yeah.
Reagan did some smart things, like introducing the ability to divorce without the man having to say, like, yes, I consent to this.
Yeah.
Like, basically...
Which is probably a good step.
Oh, no, yeah, that was a great thing, because basically wives that were abused could now say, I want a divorce, and not have to, like, convince their husbands to go with the divorce. Also, I believe you couldn't divorce for no reason until that point, so you had to falsify that one person was abusing the other.
Really?
At the time? Yeah. Some couples, this is on the record, some couples lied and just went, yeah, he hit me. And that had to be on the legal record in order for couples to divorce when they just wanted to separate.
Wow.
And that's why, after that law was passed, like, I believe married couples with, like, one suicide in the family were cut in half, like, that fucking year.
Really?
Yeah.
Because they could just, like...
They could just
they could
divorce.
leave, yeah.
You could leave your life without leaving your life.
It's so weird, like, things like that that are just, like, taken for granted now. Like, back in the day when the fucking, like, king made divorce, like, a thing, basically, by creating a new church around it.
Oh,
Well,
you're
not
talking
around
about
it,
King
but-
Henry VIII
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
Anglican Church, yeah.
And the
Because
Anglican
he
Church.
couldn't divorce his
So
wife
he's
and
like,
the Catholic.
fuck you, Catholic Church, I'm making the Anglican
I'll
Church.
make my own church.
But, like, things like that,
It'll
like...
have blackjack and no wife.
Marriage is now is very different to what it used to be.
Yeah. Well, wasn't Reagan the only 20th century conservative president to pass gun control?
Yes, but he
Yeah,
also did that to make sure that it got out of the hands of Black Panthers who were
Yeah.
just trying to fucking support ththemselves.
Yeah. That's the only reason he did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he was a piece of shit. He also said that ketchup was a vegetable. He's an idiot.
Yeah, he was an idiot. He was senile near the end.
Yeah. Cool. There you go. What's the next question?
Okay, this one's just for me, so fuck all of you.
Cool. Glad we're in a troop where we're all equals.
It's from James.
James! We like James.
Drew, how did you feel so close to me as an underwater camera during our FaceTime with a winky face and a heart? Which is a callback to the show.
Yeah, we had an event in the show.
Yeah, when I was a shark cam and I swam right up to James and, like, put my face against his. Honestly, I was a little worried because, like, when you're performing for an hour and a half, you get a little sweaty. And I really didn't want to, like, be putting my BO next to somebody. And so I really hope I didn't smell bad to you. I hope you were comfortable while I was there.
Asparagus!
I was super self-conscious about it.
Asparagus.
And also my back hurt a little bit.
My kidney
Because I had to, like, lean over a little bit. Also, good luck balancing this video, Paul.
Thank you for your question, James.
This next question comes from Kim, which is James's wife.
Yay, Kim. We like Kim.
This one's for everyone.
Wow.
Play.
That was a fun moment for the record, James.
Yeah,
Thank
that was nice. I'm sorry we talked over your answer.
Fuck you.
I said my kidney stone.
I said asparagus, and then, like, we laughed a lot. Kim says,
why improv? What's your favorite part of your shows?
fuck you, how about? I like doing it. Next
Yeah,
question.
fine enough. What's your favorite part about the shows?
Why
There's two parts to this
Oh,
question.
why improv and
What's your favorite part about shows in general?
Well, why improv?
Like performance
biology
shows.
sucks.
biology? Yeah,
Yeah.
we didn't want to get 9 to 5s.
Sucks.
I want to spend my life creating. I like telling stories, and I'm trying to pursue any kind of career that involves me telling stories as possible.
Yeah. I like just like the art of improv like forces you to be in like a different state creatively and not overthink things, and also like abandon like your ego too.
For me, when I was at university, I was doing a lot of
Okay.
like character work stuff because I was in drama, and it basically
in
meant
drama?
I was a
Oh,
drama
you were a
major.
drama major. How's that possible? You're
Shut the
tolerable.
Fuck up.
That was a compliment.
To me,
Yeah.
at the expense of others.
Yeah, they deserve it.
So
They're
if
not
you
tolerable.
wanted somebody to die, who would it be?
Oh yeah, all drama majors are broken. On March 12th at 3:06 p.m.
Yeah, with a fucking neutral mask. Could clobber them with a
It's
neutral
a Guy
mask.
Fawkes mask.
Woo!
And a red nose. Where the fuck was I going? So I would be stuck with like the same character for like 2 months because I was doing character work and stuff. So improv gave me a chance to like explore different things, and like when when you get assigned a script and you don't really get to choose the direction, you're just trying to discover what the writer probably wanted and make inferences based off that. You think of actors as a very creative thing, and it is to a certain extent, but improv I just feel is more creative because you're less restricted. There's a like much bigger risk, but it's just more. It's a different muscle to flex.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Like I've been always interested in like acting and theater, and it that sort of area didn't really work out for me, at least in the early goings. So I saw improv as like an avenue to still flex that muscle, right?
Okay.
But
Sure you did, Joe.
and be creative, but still be able to grow as a performer.
You chose improv to get laid, didn't you, Daryl? We don't need that reenactment.
No, but
But it gets you laid.
not really.
Oh.
It's like the opposite of.
It's a repellent.
That's interesting. When
It's
I
a
first,
contraceptive.
When I first, I hope this is not too much of an overshare for the sake of other people, but when I joined Brock Improv Club originally, there was this in-joke of the like the whole game of like 3 degrees of separation.
Yeah, with the old like members.
With the old members, because you could, and technically I got in on the 3 degrees of separation, where like you could connect any 3 members of the club based on who they had sex with. So you could connect. I'm gonna try to get as many not names as possible. You could connect Tiffany to Glenn to Richard, and like there you go. That's 3 degrees. There's
dick.
Nice. There's like 3 degrees of separation, and I ultimately entered that by accident by sleeping with like one of the people who was like connected to like the most connected person.
Right.
So
you entered at like the apex of the web.
Yeah,
You entered at the climax.
which is nice. Which is
Unfortunately,
now
that wouldn't last very long then.
interesting because now at this point, based on what I know of the sex lives of both of the improv groups that I've seen in universities, they really are just a series of people who are like coupled with other people outside of the group, and like don't have sex with anybody else. So like I can point to like a couple of people, and that's it, in like both clubs who are like, yeah, I know these two have had sex with each other, and maybe this person has had sex with one other person.
Right.
But it's really like promiscuity is an art of the past.
For you or for everybody?
Not for everybody. I'm still trying to keep the dream alive. Are you kidding me? You listening to me right now, you want to bang?
Hey, that's my girlfriend you're talking to.
It's also Luke's girlfriend.
Fuck you.
And it's also...
Are you admitting that Luke has a girlfriend now? This is big news.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm just saying
That's a big
hypothetically.
step forward.
I'm saying hypothetically.
Are you still going with the girlfriend/proctologist label?
I guess I have to explain that. Yeah, at this point, I've taken to introducing Luke's girlfriend, as Luke's girlfriend/proctologist, so everyone wonders which one came first. I've used it with 3 people now.
Mm-hmm.
They're all people that knew that you had a girlfriend beforehand, so they just roll their eyys at me. So it hasn't worked out so well yet, but we'll get somebody
There's
eventually.
still a chance.
Oh,
Yep.
so many stories.
Of sex.
Sure.
This one time I got laid.
It was
Next question.
It's pretty cool.
I find the like promiscuity angle interesting because I know I don't know a lot about the sex lives of my like university colleagues.
I can fill you in if you want.
Yeah,
like
I say
on
it
a
a
lot
lot.
of
Probably,
yeah.
No, like I know, like
No. I mean on their sex lives.
Yeah, I'm sure you could.
I talk about mine openly.
Yeah, we know what you mean.
I meant
Paul.
specifically people in my program, the drama students that Paul hates so much.
All right.
But what I'm getting at is like in that program, you had to be
Fucking everybody.
fairly like emotionally vulnerable in front of people a lot.
Fucking everybody.
Like there was a decent amount of crying,
Jerking off.
during
Fucking
classes,
everybody.
While jerking off.
for like various different reasons. So, and that's not
This
something
is
that
Meisner.
Oh man,
Talk about
only theater nerds get that one.
Talk about Jack Lecoq. Am I right?
Never mind.
I get what you're saying. What's your favorite part of improv
My
shows?
point was that that's not something you see a lot at improv. I feel.
That's fair.
Is
Well, then,
that the emotional vulnerability is different. It's still there. It's more there than like a lecture hall.
I think it's also just like the personality types, because I know there's somebody at one of the university improv clubs that I go to, won't say which one, and their sole reason for being in that club in the first place is to find as many people to fuck as
Get
possible.
that poon in.
Yeah. Probably get that dick, as if I know them
Get
correctly.
that Richard Dixon.
Yeah, get
Yeah.
that tricky dicky. Get that dick in your shoes. Anyway,
The promiscuity thing though is a stereotype of like UCB though.
is it?
Yeah, like low level UCB and like Second
Really?
City students. It's like they're all
Alright.
fucking each other, including teachers and
Gonna
students.
head
What? I can fuck a teacher? I mean,
can't- you
someone
can't.
could fuck a teacher? That's wrong.
You can't.
What
if
the
you
fuck?
want.
I think I've already talked about this in a previous episode, but I fucked my TA when I was 18 once, which apparently is not legal.
Nope.
Fun.
Yeah. at
Paul
least in-
breaks the law again.
Yeah. Apparently in Canada, you can sleep with your TA or your professor if you're 19 or above, but if you're 18, which I guess covers the whole, like, if they're still in high school thing.
Yeah.
Because this is while I was in university, so I didn't feel regret or anything like that. And they were a lot of fun. But otherwise, yeah, apparently I broke the law with that one, and they broke the law, and they were pretty... They would have been pretty scared, but I was also, like, the exact personality I am now, where they were just like, what the fuck ever. Just as long as you don't tell people,
You're
you're going to be
trustworthy
chill.
enough that like
I don't think they thought that I was trustworthy. I thought that they just thought I was chill. So they hammered in the message home, do not tell anybody about this. But they didn't care about, like, me freaking out and blackmailing them or some shit.
not that I think you're wrong to have done it, but like if I feel like if somebody said don't tell anybody about this, I probably wouldn't have sex with them. Just throw it like I feel like that would
This-
weird me
well,
out.
That was, first of all, that was after the fact that they
Fair.
said don't tell anybody.
Fair.
And second of all, I understood their position very clearly. I could have gotten them fired if I wanted to.
It
Yeah.
makes sense in that situation, but like just as a blanket statement, if I'm getting into a situation where that's the case, I feel like that would make me not that
Yeah,
you
yeah.
should feel uncomfortable, but that would make me feel uncomfortable.
That's fair. I've had a lot of sexual encounters with people where they had told
Just
me either
full stop.
before or afterward. Yeah, true. But also where they said either before or after, I need you to not tell anybody about this. And it was due to like a bunch of situations. And one of them was just this person was a self-described asexual, or like someone who was like, I think their own words was like in a convent or whatever, and they just didn't want to have sex with anybody because they were very aesthetically attractive, and they wanted to make sure that everyone knew this person does not have sex with people, because that would have opened the floodgates for other people to ask and stuff like that.
And they didn't want people flirting with them.
Exactly, yeah.
Was this TA someone we knew? Was it Lewis?
Please tell me it was Lewis.
I was 18. I was straight then.
Was it Lewis?
Lewis is a guy.
Okay, sure.
It is Lewis.
And
though.
also,
Was it
Lewis wasn't
Come on
never
now.
my TA. No one knows who Lewis is. Next question.
I'm straight, but like if Lewis is listening, he's an attractive
Oh
man.
yeah.
Oh yeah, he's attractive.
He's a
he's
I
also
don't know what sexuality.
he's also in a monogamous relationship, and no one knows who he is.
Wasn't
Anyway,
at the point at the time.
anyway, favorite thing about shows, I would say connecting with the audience and getting that moment where everybody's having fun. It's not so much fun when like I feel like there's a moment when you feel like you're dominating the stage, and that's fun for like a once in a while high.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel good when you're dominating the stage for too long, because then you just start to feel selfish, or also just like people should be enjoying this as much as I'm enjoying this, or
Yeah.
even vice versa. So I like the moment when the audience and the improviser are on the same page of like goofing around, and no one's higher status than the other.
Yeah, I think that like that's astute. And when I have that like dominating the stage high, that once in a while dominating the stage high, I always think like this is unsustainable.
Yeah.
And if I put myself in the position that I'm dominating the stage, this is gonna go poorly because I can't keep this up.
I will
yeah.
falter.
Yeah.
Darel, your favorite part of improv shows?
I don't have anything to say. Doing improv.
I don't like improv.
It's all fun to me. I don't know. There's not one particular moment that I really enjoy.
Okay.
I guess like the sort of organic moments that, the organic moments of like realness. You know, like the sort of human elements of drama that come out. You know, improv is normally and most often when we do shows, it's like 95% hilarious or like funny.
Yeah, I get that. That
Funny
makes
premises and funny things,
But you strive for those things that aren't just like a off joke.
yeah, not necessarily just strive, but like like it's good. It's like a great moment when you can have something a little bit more genuine, a little more human.
When you feel that little bit of emotion like well up on stage.
Well, it feels good to be genuine, that's for damn sure.
Yeah.
I feel like you're undermining this comment so much.
No one can see what's happening. It's
Don't tell them. Don't tell them.
Okay.
I was pinching his nipple. I was pinching his nipple.
bare nipple.
No.
I opened Luke's shirt and started pinching his nipple while intently listening to Daryl's thing. I will say, I was
were listening.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were making eye contact with me while you were pinching his nipple.
Demonetized.
Only one nipple tip.
That's how Alex Jones got demonetized.
Yeah, pinching his nipple.
He was pinching his nipple and just going, I'm gonna kill
They're
Trudeau.
making the frogs gay.
What's your favorite? Either of you two, I don't think. Yeah,
What?
that's the second part of this question.
Yeah. What, I just had it in my head.
Part of the show?
Favorite part of the show?
Asking for suggestions. No.
That's fair.
No. I like when we have a nice ending to it. Like not even just like
Well, then you didn't like this last show. I felt like we scrambled for an ending in this show. Go on.
I feel like when everything comes together really nicely is good. Also when there's just like a nice laugh line and we end it on like really high energy and we're like we roll on it and be like, okay, let's thank the people, get the fuck out of here, let's go, that was fun. And that was good instead of being like, well, we finished. We just have some housekeeping to do before we leave, so please stay seated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, who would ever do that?
Well, I feel like that. We kind of skate the line between both of those in every single show.
It was one of the Brock summits, I think, that really sold me on like not doing too much housekeeping at the end. I can't remember which one it was, but I swear
Was
it
it-
went on for like 6 minutes or something.
Oh, I
It was
remember.
probably mine.
Was it?
I-
when I
definitely
hosted it?
remember that.
Because I remembered being like, Jesus Christ.
That was the
Went on
cooking
for a
one.
long time.
What? It was a cooking one.
It was the cooking one.
Oh, it was the cooking
Was
one?
it?
Yeah, because like
Oh,
Eric
it wasn't me.
Yeah.
Everybody, like, there were a bunch of people that were there since the beginning and they graduated.
It wasn't me.
Oh, okay, okay. If I can
I just
defend
want to
that.
thank everybody here. And
If I can
whatever.
defend myself, that was to my knowledge, the last summit that I was ever going to like actively participate in.
It's fine. It's okay. All right.
The cooking one was the one designed by me, for the record. That's why I'm defending myself right now.
It was a great summit. I just
Thank you.
know,
Thank you. Well, the judging sucked, but otherwise, thank you.
but like that was a running theme from anybody that was in the show that went there. It was like, oh man, like the ending is really dragging on a little bit too long. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're really part of something for that long and you're not going to be part of it again, of course, you want to say something.
Yeah. That's fair. I will take that criticism in stride. Like
one-
I didn't do, like, maybe a minute ago.
The one that I hosted, I felt like went on way too long. Like there was individual applause for like every single thing, every single judge, every single team, and I'm like, Jesus fuck, this doesn't have to be here.
My favorite moment was when you and the other person were mixing the drinks. It went into a different color, and you decided to make it that one game because colors correspond with the last year's improv summit at Brock was like a science themed thing, and they like chose the games you'd play by mixing like a powder with another liquid. And what color would it be? The color that corresponds to a certain improv game is the improv game you play.
Yeah.
And a different color.
smart.
Yeah, a different
I don't think
color
we did
came
it well,
up.
but it's a smart idea.
It was a cool idea. As is the case with the presidents that year, a lot of things were high concept and didn't work out in reality. I'm as critical about myself as I am about them. Don't giggle at me, Drew. So yeah, it mixed into a different color, and I remember you like it was Sit Stand Lie, which is a game for 3 people, and it was with you of Toronto, which had 4 people, and I remember you going, Kyle, you can go sit down.
Just made
the decision for them.
And also the other host was like, no, let's just do it. Let's ignore that and do another game. And like both of you were saying no to each other over and over. I think the going too long wasn't an issue. That was an issue where it was just like, holy fuck, this is bad.
Oh, yeah,
like the one moment where it's like, ugh.
We were not on the same page through that entire thing.
Honestly, no, that's not on you. This is another thing I blame the presidents for, because you couldn't have possibly had a more conflicting set of personalities than you and that other host.
Yeah.
That was like something that anybody who knew Brock Improv that year could have gone like, don't get these two to host the summit.
Get one of them and somebody else.
Honestly, get one of them, it would have been fine. Get the other one of them, would have been fine. Anybody else from the entire university, they could have, one of them could have stabbed the other's dad, and it would have been a better chemistry.
The anthropology professor. I don't know what this is. I was told I have to host this.
Apparently McGill University did that one year, where they just had a bunch of profs that have never done improv before do an improv show.
Oh, right, yeah.
Improv?
I remember hearing about
Yeah.
that, yeah.
Cool.
And I
Yeah.
got a big turnout for it.
Yeah, because
That's awesome.
McGill did brilliantly concepted things that people wanted to see.
Yeah.
Like
And pulled them off.
Yeah,
Yes.
they're good at it. Yeah, they're good at that stuff.
What's the next question? We've been going through
I
this
just
way too slowly.
wanted to answer my part of this question.
Okay.
My favorite part about improv is the, or like specifically improv shows, is the feeling that's different. It's like the feeling that's different between like a rehearsal and the actual performance. Like the amount that everybody cares about what's happening on stage and like the amount that they're committed. Sure, we still like laugh and like break character often enough.
I don't think so.
But yeah, it never happens. But like it happens in a different way that we just bounce back right away because we have to be entertaining, and it's less like self-indulgent, and I just really revel in that.
Yeah, I think we don't hold ourselves to be higher status than the audience, which is a good trait for an improv troupe.
Like we really owe it to the audience to do.
Oh yeah, and at a show, I believe, like both when you're an improviser and a stand-up comedian, you have to be lower status to the audience. You have to like acknowledge that you're the piece of shit, and that like you're grateful to the audience, because a good audience will probably either do the same to you or even just revel in it. But that's part of the fun. An improviser that sees themselves as superior to the audience, you can smell them out every fucking time, and they're usually the person I classify as the improv bro stereotype, which is what I said earlier, the elitist narcissist improviser.
We'll only play the leading man, and that's it.
Yeah, we'll talk about their format and how fucking like interesting it was, and use all this terminology where it's like, yeah, we combined a La Ronde with a herald, we call it a La Herald, and like they're just being so fucking indulgent.
They're like visionaries.
Yeah, I fucking hate that, and they think that they're better than other people
Because they follow the rules.
even if they don't follow the rules, even if I've met like one, for God's sakes, the one that I talk about so much about being the improv bro that I fucking like despise.
Okay.
He has a prevailing attitude of like, who gives a shit, man? It's just improv.
Yeah.
But like he takes that attitude to like the fucking nth degree, and yeah, everything is pain. Fucking hate that.
Next question.
Next question.
Next question.
This one's from Eric.
Eric, we fucking like Eric. How you doing, Eric? Take out the trash. What's your question?
I feel like somebody else should read this for pronunciation's sake.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna say it with an accent. Do you want to say it?
Do you want you can say it.
You know what? Daryl hasn't gotten to say a lot of things.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Leaning good close.
Toast.
It's just toast with a question mark.
Toast?
Toast.
Toast?
I
Toast.
don't like toast.
Why don't you like toast?
I don't like bread.
You don't like
Oh, no.
bread?
Get the fuck out of here, Drew.
Like, if I were gonna have bread, I would have toast. But like toast in the morning for breakfast, it's the most boring ass shit you could have.
Why don't
Boring
you put,
ass shit.
Why don't you put peanut
Them's
butter? or
fighting
jam on
words, dude. If my schedule wasn't fully booked on March 12th, I swear to God,
We would have some things.
it? It's at 3, but he's preparing all day.
Yeah.
I have to prepare all day. He's the prime minister.
And
Do you
then
think he's
escape
easy to kill?
afterwards.
And I am gonna kill him on March 12th at 3:06 p.m. Toast is all right. It depends on what you put on it. Like butter and jam. Oh,
You ever had
like English muffin, toasted, butter jam. Oh,
Actually, English muffins are pretty good.
yeah,
I'm
like
not-
the toast.
I'm not a big fan. However,
All right. I know
have
you're
you-
human.
Have you ever had? Fuck. Fucking shit. Oh my god. I don't care anymore. I don't have anything to say. No, I do. You ever had toast with like really good homemade bread?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, like you could taste the toast, especially if you get it at like a breakfast at a diner, and you
taste the
you- and
You can taste the toast.
You know when you eat something and you can taste it? That's so good.
when you get it from a diner and they give it to you and you can taste the fact that it's homemade and they make it at the restaurant,
Yeah,
and it's
that's
like,
true,
oh,
yeah.
that is fucking good. Even though it's just there to mop up my eggs, it is amazing.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. I mean, pretty much anything homemade, especially bread, it really comes out.
Yeah.
But, like, in general, I don't think you should toast bread. I don't think it's a thing.
Why not?
That makes it better.
That I disagree with. If you're gonna have bread, you should toast it.
Like, there's certain things, like the English muffin, like, I'm down with that. Like, it
You kind of
enhances
have to
the
double
flavor of
toast them though, because English muffins don't toast quickly.
Double toast?
This is discourse.
What are we, in fucking prison? You're a mess.
Toast.
All around the country, all around the coast.
All around the world. You ever heard Sugar Ray?
Yeah.
Next question.
The next question was, he ever heard Sugar Ray? Yeah.
Spent enough time talking about toast. So.
Yeah, we should write our own questions. I
This
feel
one's-
like our questions are better than whatever
We
comes
just
out
talked
here.
about not saying we're better than the audience.
Oh, Darel, you're off the team.
Yeah.
And I'm
by
gonna
a
kill you.
This question comes from Will.
Oh, are you reading them now?
I'm reading this one.
All right, cool.
Who ate all the snacks?
That would be me.
Yeah,
if we're
you-
talking about, yeah.
If you're talking about today,
Yeah.
I had to tell Paul not to eat chips during the podcast because he was gonna like
didn't.
crinkle the bag while we were
No, you
doing it.
didn't. You didn't have to tell me anything.
I felt like I had to tell you.
here, suck on this helium.
So what happened is I burst into Drew's home. I eyed the bag of snickerdoodles. His mom was all like, "Please eat them!" And so I was like, "What?" And then she repeated, "You can eat the cookies!" And so I was like, sweet. And so I ate some of the cookies, and then I spotted a big old bag of chips, Lay's wrinkled, and I was like,
Wavy.
dude, wavy. And I was like, dude, is
They're
that
just really old chips.
is that a bag of Lay's
Wavy.
chips? I would like me some of them Lay's
Wavy.
chips. And Drew was like, yeah, you can have some of my Lay's.
Toast?
God damn it. Wavy chips. And so I ate some of his Lay's
Wavy.
chips. And then I brought the bag up here. I was like, I'm just going to bring the bag up here. And he was like, oh, isn't... Drew actually was like,
Oh, but isn't that gonna, the crinkling of the bag, isn't that gonna show up on the podcast? Go.
and I was like, don't worry, I'm not going to eat him during the actual recording. And he was like,
I'm not gonna say you're wrong.
Yeah,
that is,
spot on.
apart from his accent, that's basically what happened. And you tried to frame me as the bad guy.
If you
With
ever
the
do
accent.
a Drew Quest 2020, please don't use that voice.
Go.
Drew, I want to tell
I
you.
better get to my D&D
Why are
game
you rolling a
before the
joint?
jocks beat me up.
Drew, I want to tell you right now, if there is a Drew quest, I will lobby to make sure he does that voice.
Speaking of D&D, I got my first minis over there.
You are not helping your case.
What are minis,
super
Drew?
cool.
Tell us in the microphone.
You get
Oh,
a
you
pink-
got it. Minis are like figurines. The full word is mini figurines. You guys like my...
I don't actually know.
miniature. It's short for miniature.
Oh, yeah.
The word mini is short for mini figurines.
Yeah.
miniature figurines, and I like using them when I play D&D, and I look at them and it's like, jack up.
Fuck you, Drew.
You gonna paint
why
them
they're
like a
white.
goddamn nerd.
If I, and probably not honestly because I'm not artistic, if I ever jack off to a hill giant, I have problems. That's all I have to say.
Hey.
Look at that motherfucker!
Some people like that.
Rule 34 exists.
Also, like,
People have jacked off to Peter Griffin.
yeah, that's true. Also, like, a hill giant is essentially like a medieval bear.
Yeah.
That's a bear. That's a bear. That's a dad
you know what
bod bear body.
And yeah, you know what a bear is in common gay lingo?
Maybe it's because, like, I know the
You're avoiding the question.
the personality.
you twink.
Maybe it's because I know more of the personality of the average hill giant, whereas the average bear is a bit, like, nicer.
Okay. You acted
Are
like
you
did-
gonna like argue with me?
You
The
acted
average hill giant is nicer than a bear.
Like, apart
whoa!
Apart from the actual voice, I got Drew's personality.
Yeah.
spot
Oh yeah,
fuck
yeah,
on.
yeah. You acted like you didn't know what the term bear was, and then you're like, bears are like this personality-wise.
No.
Like you've spent a lot
Hill
of
giants
time.
are like this personality-wise.
Like you spent a lot of time in some clubs, Drew.
questions
You
are there?
sexy twink.
I know what a bear is.
Can I read the next question?
Yeah, go for it.
Cool. Did we already finish that question? Was that adequate?
Remember what the question was?
It was toast.
No,
was
it
it?
was the who ate all the snacks.
Oh yeah, I knew it was me. Yeah.
Now I'm soaking it like a joint.
This comes from Kelly. We all like Kelly.
Yeah.
All right. His question is: did you have a worst enemy? What'd they do to piss you off?
Come on.
And who would you kill?
Boy, yeah. Combined with Justin Trudeau on March 12th. Anyway, did you have a worst enemy? What'd they do to piss you off? I didn't want this to become the podcast where I'd air out my dirty laundry.
The problem I have with this question is like, there's definitely been people that piss me off, but to label them as a worst enemy kind of gives them more like value in your life.
Yeah. How heavy can I get? I'll keep it to a couple of sentences. How heavy can I get?
Let's say like alternative rock, but not like metal.
Nice.
So you're like Queens of the
Okay.
Stone Age.
So this
Or
is
like-
this is not going to be funny, just for the record. But this is
Just
I
start
want to
talking.
actually
Oh,
answer the
we'll punch
question.
you.
Okay, so did you have a worst
Some,
enemy?
like,
Yes.
Circus music in the background to make it funny.
Really? Okay.
Content warning, themes of sexual assault.
What'd they do to piss you off? Okay, so this person, let me try to see if I can culminate in like 5 points maximum. They really disrespected me and my friends, in ways that some of the friends don't even know yet. They cheated on someone who is very dear to me. They made a no means yes with me joke, like maybe a few weeks after I told them that I was actually raped. Content warning. A little bit late there. I'll put it beforehand. There you go. Sweet. Yeah, they really disrespected a lot of my wishes following my PTSD diagnosis, and I basically said, I found out that I'm not really good when people do this, please don't do this, and they continued to do that, basically because they just didn't fucking care. There we go, 4 points. Sorry that things got heavy there. But yeah,
a good reason.
huh?
That's a pretty good reason.
Yeah, that's 4 fucking good reasons, all on their own. But yeah, all
now
4 of them at
there's-
once.
And that's lumping together like
Yeah.
they disrespected me and my friends together versus each individual friend.
Oh yeah. That person is like not a good person at all, and I like still get bothered when their name shows up in any capacity ever, even when like another person with the same name, which sucks because they have a fucking common name.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they didn't become my worst enemy for no fucking reason, but I will say that I have very few like enemies. I try to forgive people.
Yeah, enemies is a very loaded word.
Yeah, totally. I think I can only name like genuinely 2 people who I can actually consider an enemy of mine right now. And yeah,
This
that's-
person and
No, not Jeff. Jeff is
no,
great.
not Jeff.
Jack Layton.
No,
Let me tell you, I'm
Prime
glad
Minister.
he died. I'm not glad Jack Layton died. He was great. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Whatever. Again, no need to air the dirty laundry on this fucking podcast. That's my worst enemy. Next.
I don't think I have an enemy.
Your dad.
No, I love my dad.
Yeah,
I'm
but
gonna
he's your
call
worst
him.
enemy.
He's
No.
frenemies.
Yeah, frenemies.
No.
He's like, hey, sport, when are you gonna get a real job and stop bleeding out your ass?
Well, he says that, but he's not my enemy.
I just realized how much of a clown voice, plus the circus music was still going, so I figured why not.
I'll add it in there.
All right, Daryl.
Yeah, I also don't have any worst enemies, but this guy comes close.
Okay.
We were friends for a while, for a good long while. And
Then I threw his head into a brick wall in kindergarten.
And then I ratted him out when we were doing a
He
drug
stole
deal.
my KFC.
no, none of those things.
And then I had a threesome with him.
Every Daryl story.
But we went out for one of my birthdays, and
One of them.
yes, I've had many birthdays in the past. Anyways, this is a long story short. I got a little bit drunk, and he left me sort of alone for a little bit. And he also, aside to the story, he brought 3 girls along, and he thought like that would be cool. but I didn't know these people at all. And he just sort of thought that, for my birthday, 3 random girls coming along to my birthday would be a fun experience for me.
That's like a personal hell of mine where I'm
Yeah.
just like, oh, I have to make the first impression on 3 different people.
Yeah.
And I don't have a mutual friend to connect him with.
Yeah, that's so stressful.
Yeah, so I ended up, that's why I kind of left our group of friends there. It was a small group. I don't want to say like, all my friends came to my birthday.
Yeah.
No. It was like me and maybe a couple other friends of mine. But anyways, because these girls were there, I was like, you know what, I'm kind of going to stay away from these people. I was a little bit drunk. And at this bar, they had a Jenga set, but it was a really huge Jenga set. Like, the blocks were massive.
So like
Oh,
2
yeah,
by
yeah.
4s.
This is such a setup. This is such a
Basically.
setup.
And
3 girls walk into a bar.
One of them's a rabbi.
Oh, that'd be so fucking cool.
Yeah.
I'm gunning for that rabbi. Can
Can women even be rabbis?
Yeah, in a lot of Reform Judaism, you can definitely
Okay,
be a rabbi.
but she's not Orthodox. That's what we know about her. Anyway, go on with your
yeah,
Jenga rabbi story.
definitely not Orthodox
We
Judaism.
know one thing about her.
Yeah. So go on with your Orthodox Jew Jenga rabbi story.
Yeah, so the Jenga set is already set up, and there's a couple, and they're sort of like talking, they're kind of flirting and whatever, and so like, you know what, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna start playing Jenga, and I pull out one of the pieces, and this girl stops what she's doing with her whatever flirty partner. She's like,
What the fuck are you doing?
put that back. We're gonna play Jenga later. Like, you're getting in the middle of our game. Like, oh, I was like, oh, sorry. And then it's sort of like,
Put it back in the middle of the stack.
like sort of to antagonize her, I like pulled it out a little bit further.
Oh, my man.
And and then
This is
things
your
got-
worst enemy?
No, hold on. And then things got a little bit heated.
Or
and-
is your drunk self your worst enemy?
Hashtag deep.
Well,
The Jenga tower.
I do regret this. At the height of the argument that was going on, I spit on one of the girls.
Whoa! All right,
Yeah.
to be fair, he was drunk, he was very angry, and he regrets this action to this day.
I
Yeah.
definitely regret it. It was
Yeah.
not a move I should have done.
Yeah.
And
I'm okay with me being vilified on this podcast, but like any of you guys, you guys
more
are
innocent, Darel.
Yeah,
nice
No,
people.
Daryl shouldn't. Daryl regrets spinning on this person. Paul will kill the prime minister.
100% on March 12th at 3:06 p.m. Go on with your thing.
anyways, that sparked a slap. My glasses came off, and
my glasses. Sorry, I was thinking of Velma.
My glass.
And so, anyways, I go outside, and my friend, he comes out with the 3 girls or whatever.
Hey, gang. Sorry.
You're Scooby. Like Scooby, you shouldn't spin on those girls, man.
Surely Daryl would be Shaggy. Like, come on. Okay.
And so I sat in the backseat of my friend's car, like, pretty ashamed. And he's like, no, you know what, man? Like, let me take these girls home, and I'll, like, come and pick you up later. And he didn't. He texted me later. He's like, you got to find your own way home.
Whoa!
Whatever, and I didn't hear from him for the rest of the night. And the next day, he called a couple of times, and then I didn't pick up because I was like, what the fuck this guy. And he left me like a 10-minute long explanation of why he didn't do that and why we're no longer friends.
What?
Yeah.
I was expecting a 10-minute like apology.
No. He was just like, man, the moment we walked out of that door, friendship terminated.
Was it because you spat on the person?
Yes. That was really it. Because, I don't know, he felt unsafe or whatever. And he's like, I brought
You were
these
too
girls
much of a
out.
violent person for him.
Yeah.
Daryl Dean.
Listen,
I mean,
don't-
I'll say that is a very complicated situation, and I don't know who I'd root for in that situation.
Yeah, I'm not saying I was in the right there, but I just figured, like, as a friend, like the least one could do is just, like, be on the side of your friend for that one time. If he had said, you know what, after this, like, listen, man, like, you're not a good guy when you're drunk or whatever, I don't feel safe around you, I'd be like, okay, fine. But I think the way he handled it is just, I don't know. It's one of those things that I think, like, what could I have done, in that situation if I play that in my mind, like, is there something I could have done differently? Yeah, of course, but, like, I don't know, his
Did I
reaction.
do it? No.
Yeah.
But he like saw it too black and white, basically. Like he.
It was like two wrongs, basically. You were in the wrong, but he was in the wrong, and it was really uncool of him to do that because you could have learned better from your experiences.
Yeah,
But now everything's all right.
that's right.
Because you're with us now. You can spit on me all you want.
Thanks, man.
I want you to.
Please let me lay out some plastic first.
Right. Is that all of it? Oh, right. Do you
Did
you two have...
make a fucking like dream catcher?
Not really.
What are
It's
those
I just
things
folded it a
called?
bunch of times.
What are those things called? I can't even remember.
I don't remember.
Dreamcatcher.
This is a really... Cootie
Cootie
catcher.
catcher, yeah.
This is a really shitty piss-ass cootie
frog.
catcher. No, it's a really piss-ass cootie catcher. It only opens this way.
You don't have a lot of options.
Nope. It's like yes or no. Anyway, do you guys have worst enemies?
I don't think so. No one comes to mind.
I don't really know if I would describe them as like an enemy, but like it's the kind of person that like she's not technically my ex, but she was my first kiss, and like I still have like that like feeling on the inside even after like even after like 6 or 7 years or whatever.
Where it's awkward to remember them and you don't know what you'd say if you're around them, but also you understand their motives, that sort of thing.
No,
Really? Were they
it
bad?
was a very toxic.
Okay.
Like
situation
that left me with like views on things that were probably detrimental for like my further life.
Ooh, okay.
That like maybe set me back a little bit.
Okay.
But I still
Does
don't know-
after school a kid help then? Maybe we're contributing to your bullying.
No, I wasn't like it's hard to explain.
All right.
And it's not something
you
we're
want
going
me
to
to
get
go?
into on the podcast.
I can go if you want me to.
Well, I mean, let's ask the last question before you go.
This is getting really heavy. Do you remember like the beginning of this podcast? We were happy go fucking lucky. We're very
yeah,
serious.
planning an
Killing the Prime
assassination.
Yeah. Fuck. Oh, okay.
Fuck. But yeah, like I don't know if I would use the word enemy because I feel like enemy is an ongoing thing. More like specter from my past.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a few of those, maybe.
Yeah, I've got definitely a few specters from my past. I think I've forgiven all of them, and it's like a combination of me not being an angry person overall, and also like me being way too forgiving of people in general.
See, I'm usually pretty forgiving. I'm bad at keeping like grudges against people.
Same.
But one of the things I've heard
Usually.
is like if you still get an emotional response when you think of a memory, you're still like attached to that memory. I don't know if that's true or not, but it's something I heard. I read it on the internet, so it has to be true.
Yeah, I feel like that's not true.
But I still feel like some ways about that
Yeah,
memory.
I think that just means that you have empathetic traits. Because if you remember, like, oh, this really affected me, and I can remember how that feels, you're attaching yourself. I guess that means more like you're sympathetic rather. No, I'd still say empathetic because you're feeling the things.
Yeah.
So you're still reliving the actual emotive feelings from that. So I wouldn't say that you're still attached to it.
Like auto-empathetic.
Yeah, exactly. But you just remember what that's like, and you can identify with it.
That's fair, but it's not so much of a memory as it is it's an actual current feeling. I don't know. It's hard to explain.
That is fair.
Emotions are weird.
Yeah. For example, with that worst enemy that I described, I forgave them maybe like 14 fucking times.
Separate times.
Over the course of 5 months. Poor Drew and Luke had to hear of that several times.
You know what? Maybe like right now, the closest person I have to an enemy is maybe that person.
Really?
Yeah. Like they have not affected my life as much as they've affected yours,
And
but
also your friends.
and my friends.
Yeah.
But I've seen them
Which are two
around.
different things, really. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I'm not a friend.
But like every once in a while, like a few months, I'll see them and I'll like turn around and walk away.
Jeez.
I'm like, I don't want to talk.
I'm
to you.
sorry that I've soured your opinion of that person, because like if you didn't have any like first-hand experience with them, you know, it's also very complicated because of like other friends or like two other friends still being close friends with that person. And it's like skating a line of like never bringing them up, and I'm sure them never bringing me up, and all that fucking. That's what drama is, and everyone thinks they're above drama. I will say right the fuck now, if you are living drama free, it's not due to skill, it's due to luck. Drama will follow everyone everywhere, and if you think you're above drama, you're actually above the consequences of such.
It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, I had a friend who like thought that they were above drama and never participated in drama until like recently at an event, like some sort of thing that they had gossiped about came back, and it like formed this weird telephone game monster.
Oh, no.
Where like it was like, oh, you're Paul, right? You made this person's life hell last year. And I was like, excuse me? So I confronted that person and like basically told them, you're not above drama. you're in the thick of it, you just didn't want to reap the fucking consequences, and here they are.
Drama looks differently. Like, it has many different forms.
Exactly, yeah. I don't think anyone can claim to be above drama. I think someone can claim to be lucky because they managed to, like, slip past drama.
Yeah. It's also a thing of, like, you see drama around you because person A said something shitty to person B, but nobody said something shitty to you yet. So you're above drama because nobody said something shitty to you yet.
It's all around you. Wake up, sheeple. Look at that. We did it.
Hey.
Nice.
All right, stop plugging our show as we move on to this next question.
Is it the last one?
This is the last question. It's also about the show.
Yay. THX.
What is the Goblin song played at Wake Up Sheeple by Jill?
We
Oh my
went
God.
over this
We went
already.
over
We
this.
played it a little bit.
We even told the audience. Were
you
you
look-
even listening?
If you look up Alex
Were
Jones...
you awake?
If you look up Alex Jones Goblins Remix, you'll find it.
We played it on this podcast.
Yeah! Fuck you.
Fuck everything, man.
Oh, we can't just leave it on a fucking topic of, like, the worst enemies
Yeah,
and stuff
we
like
need
that.
We need a more...
You know, Daryl, sit your fine ass up straight. You said, "Oh, I could write better questions than that. My name's Daryl." I want you to ask us a question. I'll ask us a question. Lukey boy,
Yeah.
you will ask us
How much
a
more
question.
time do we have?
We're fine.
All right.
And then Drew, you'll ask us a question to end things off.
Okay.
Okay. My question comes from me.
Okay. Me. We all like me.
Me's pretty good.
Yeah.
Shout out to me. Golf clap. Golf clap for me. All right. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? What's your question?
Hey, that's a perfect goblin voice. We know why you're in the tree.
His head starts inflating.
I'm like Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Let's say you're hosting brunch with 5 of your closest friends.
I have to kill him. Sorry, go ahead with the question.
Fuck, marry, kill.
Brunch.
Aside from the dietary restrictions of everybody, saying everybody can eat everything, what would be the 5 items that you would have in your brunch?
In my brunch?
Yeah.
I'd have those, like, you know those really good fucking crackers where they have, like, prosciutto and fucking, like, either goat's cheese or, like, blue cheese on them?
Yeah,
Number 1.
Nice.
just like a plate of those.
Yeah.
I feel like I would have like deviled eggs with like the
Deviled eggs, yeah.
It's not your turn yet.
No, I like this. I like. Do you want to collab?
collaborative?
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll
you
be-
can be
I'll
at
be-
my brunch.
Yeah,
You can be at
Daryl and I,
fucking
you and I can
we'll
collaborate.
collaborate.
All right. So we got both of those
I'm
things.
gonna throw you a little bit of a curveball here because I would need to have ribs if I got the choice.
Fuck.
So that might fuck you up a little bit.
Can we do those little like mini dry ribs?
Oh yeah, those are my favorite.
Yep, we're good.
Like salt and pepper dry ribs.
Yep. Can we get those like skewers with like where you can dip them in the things and it's got like a good like meat on it where it's like some are beef, some are chicken, and they've also got cheese on them.
Yep.
That way Daryl can't come.
Cheese?
That way Daryl can't come.
Why would you have cheese on your skewer? That would just ruin the skewer.
Because it deters the lactose intolerant people and it's meat byproduct with cheese, so it deters away the Jewish people too.
Also, you get like the like.
Oh, jeez, man.
That's not what I was
It's
expecting.
okay. You know, lactose going against lactose intolerance is fine.
anti-Semitism.
We'd make the best brunch.
Last thing
Speaking
is
of things that are white, the like the proper mozzarella cheese. The like real mozzarella cheese. If that's what was on the skewer with the beef and stuff.
you talk about mozzarella fresca, yeah?
Yeah.
Mozzarella fresca.
That would
yeah.
be the cheese I would want on the skewer.
I'm thinking last thing. Yeah, honestly, just to make sure that we've got like a sort of a balance of like not so rich things.
Yeah.
Genuine New York style bagels to show that we have no ill will towards the Jewish people.
Okay.
Yep.
We'll like put them on a small plate and like, but yeah, they'll be there.
They'll be put in a different room.
Well,
That's what you made it sound like,
we get
Daryl.
like cream cheese and stuff with it. Does that count as part of that thing, or is that a
Yeah.
separate?
It's like a
separate
spread.
dish?
It's like a spread. You can put your own You can put your own cream cheese on it. That way, if Darel just wants a bagel, or if like a Jewish person doesn't want cream cheese, they can still have it.
Right. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, we're done.
Okay.
You two.
Darel.
Right, okay.
Okay. I'd like some fresh fruit. I know a lot of people have real, like, issues with, like, honeydew and cantaloupe.
I don't like honeydew nor cantaloupe. I'm an example.
I really, like, really ripe cantaloupe is the fucking nectar of the gods.
Oh, is this ripe though? Oh, man,
Okay.
never mind. This is pretty good.
And pineapple.
Yes. Addendum. Not fruit. Freshly squeezed fruit juice. So we have like a station, like cantaloupe juice, pineapple juice.
Oh, this is cute. What's coming out of... Oh, is this cantaloupe juice? Oh, sign me the fuck up.
That's a little bit odd, but I like it.
Like cantaloupe juice is like fucking like it'll add years to your life.
Dude, this is pretty good.
Yeah, have you ever had
To
papaya? Papaya juice? Ooh.
I've never had papaya juice. Papaya.
Oh, I've never had this before, but it's pretty good.
Interesting. Papaya.
Yeah. So, anyways, a juice station.
Yeah, a juice station.
Definitely
Okay.
one of the things. I see, along the lines of deviled eggs. I feel like that's a little bit too much work. I could do a good poached egg.
Okay, I will not partake, but I accept this.
Yeah, poached.
Okay.
We'll have, actually the fun of poached eggs is actually poaching them.
Okay.
So why
Poach
not?
your own egg station?
Yeah, poach your own eggs. They have
Just
a
like
pot
a
of boiling
boiling
water, and then just like a,
A bit
Okay.
of vinegar on the side.
Okay.
I feel like this is a theme that we're starting.
If we have a griddle, then we can like. I don't like poached eggs. I only really like over easy eggs.
I feel like
so
their
if I have a
budget is
griddle,
way higher than ours.
if we have a griddle, then we can make our own eggs however we want to make it,
Sure.
and that can include poaching.
And on the griddle, why not reuse that griddle for something else? Blueberry pancakes.
Excellent.
Yeah,
I like this idea.
My go-to is French toast, but I feel like we already have an egg-themed thing already. We don't need more egg stuff.
Yeah. I think something to include in that pancake station is a syrup, but with like brandy or some kind of liqueur.
Ooh.
Yeah, like
man.
I know my dad. He makes cinnamon toast or what's it called?
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
He makes cinnamon toast crunch in a factory. He makes French toast and he puts rum in it.
Kellogg, it all makes sense.
But yeah, no. But if we have like a maple syrup, like a fresh maple syrup with a little bit of brandy in it, or rum, or
love it.
bourbon,
I love
or
it.
something like that, it adds some like adultness to like blueberry pancakes,
That's
which would be
right.
good.
Oh,
Yeah.
finally, pancakes, but also someone treats me like the 18 to 24-year-old I am.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have those sort of areas.
Yeah.
I feel like we need a meat.
Yes, we do. I was thinking about that too. We have an egg, which like if we had no meat, I'd be okay with it, but maybe a meat would be good. If this is brunch, we've been talking about breakfast things a lot, so maybe like some like ham.
Ooh.
Sliced ham, because that can be a breakfast thing too, but it's a little bit more brunchy on the brunch side.
Wait, I'm back in this. Does that mean that you guys are exclusionary to Muslims?
No, they can eat it if they want
Yeah.
to.
No, wait. Muslims and Jews can't eat pig.
They can if they want to.
No, they can't.
Yes,
if they're
they can.
Orthodox,
They can if they want to. It's up to them.
that's not how the religion works. All right.
Yes,
you know
it
what?
does.
I'm out of
Yes,
this
it does.
conversation. No,
Plenty of Catholics have abortions.
Jesus.
It's a la carte, dude. That's how religion works.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So ham. I mean, obviously, it's got to be a fry your own ham station.
Yeah, okay,
You
okay.
can't. This is the way our brunch is set up.
All right.
You walk in, you start making it.
Yeah. Okay.
So, anyways.
Wait, are we putting a whole cantaloupe into a juicer?
Yeah.
As long as they're shorter. I didn't know this was going to be a long-ass question.
We're thinking about this because you guys did.
Yeah.
We're
and-
thinking about this for like 5 times the amount of time that we did.
Anyways,
our thinking about this was, oh, how about this? Yes, that. Okay, that's number 3. Yours is like, let's talk about the physicality of juicers.
Well, okay. To be fair, we didn't interrupt you when you had your thing.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. 3 things.
Juice, eggs, blueberry pancakes, ham, and
Dessert. Trauma.
trauma.
That's what I thought you guys were going. Trifle?
No,
Trifle is a brunch dessert. It's like the most brunchy of desserts.
Yeah, you trifling
yeah, I
bitch.
guess.
What about The custard, like an egg. What am I trying to say? Creme brulee.
Creme brulee?
That's not
yeah, okay.
custard.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
egg based.
Creme brulee. Yeah, that'd be pretty good.
Yeah.
It's very sweet.
Those are 5 things. All right. Next up, who's got a question?
You labeled it in order. Go for it.
I did, but I don't have one, so go ahead.
Oh, what was a time in the last week where you laughed really hard?
I like.
During this podcast, at one point, something happened, and I was like laughing really fucking hard.
Was it because Drew brought up white supremacy again?
No, that just made me nod.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I really enjoyed.
Speaking of white stuff, that was when we laughed pretty hard.
That's a good one.
I really enjoy. I don't want to follow up white supremacy with an endorsement of another of a YouTube channel, but I really enjoy Critical Role. But they don't like the D&D group Critical Role. But they
Are
don't.
they all white? Yeah, they are.
All right, Pepe.
They make me like laugh, but they don't make me to like actually laugh out loud a lot. And this
that sounds like
a
a
proper
good-
like belly laugh.
That sounds like good content when
Oh.
it doesn't make you laugh.
Well, like
Okay.
you know that feeling when you enjoy something
Yeah.
but you don't like guffaw at it. I guffawed.
I love it.
3 separate times in the most recent episode. It was really good.
Okay, I got one. I was streaming a couple days ago, and there's this like sparring minigame. It was like one of those farming simulators, but you can just like challenge a random like
Yeah, you're
villager
right.
to sparring.
A farming simulator with a sparring game.
No, it
they
was-
all have those.
It got so much mileage out of me in the first time that I discovered it. It was like, spar? Okay, I'll hit that button. And then we were just like in a ring with like ultimate music playing in the background. It was amazing. So I was just doing one of my sparring matches with a guy that like the story wouldn't progress unless I won against him. And I kept losing. And this one time I was about to win. And the game fucking froze on the final fucking punch. And I was like, no, are you kidding me? And so like I started hitting random buttons. And as I hit the escape button, it went to the pause menu. The game wasn't even frozen. It's just the sparring minigame froze. And the worst part is when you pause, it gives you like, go back to the game or surrender when you're in spar mode. So I could either sit there and watch time paused forever or give up.
And do the fight again.
Yeah, and so I was like, this fucking sucks. And so I hit the give up button, and all it did was put lose in front of the screen, but it still was frozen.
It was just freeze framed on you lose.
On you lose for no reason. It was like one of those metaphors of like, no, you lose. And it's like, acknowledge you lose or don't. And it's like, well, I don't want time to be frozen. I acknowledge I lose. Good. Well, don't I get to try again? No, you've lost. And I got a lot of mileage out of that, especially since I could move my character slightly and still while it was all frozen. So I did this stupid impersonation of a Dragon Ball Z character and just went, you're not dealing with a normal builder, Kakarot. I froze time. That's what got a lot of mileage out of me. That's what made me laugh.
Okay, so earlier today I was listening to a podcast. You guys might know it. It's called My Dad Wrote a Porno.
No.
Lewis actually recommended it to me once.
Whoa.
Cool. Nobody knows who Lewis is.
What's the premise of the podcast?
He's a handsome man and a
He's
TA.
a bicon. I don't know his sexuality, but he's a bicon.
Yeah. So it is exactly what it sounds like. So this guy who does the podcast, his dad wrote a porno under a different name. And he does a live reading of it with a couple of his friends, and they go over like the crazy little bits because his dad is not a good writer. Okay, and so there's
Is
one.
it like an ongoing thing?
Yeah, they go through every chapter, and
God.
they have their own commentary, and I think they actually have a few famous people that come along and do little side bits as well. Anyways, check it out if you like it.
Check it.
Yeah, what really made me laugh today was there's one particular scene where the main character, she's handcuffed in this maze. And so potential, partners, men come along.
Partners sounds really like... It sounds more pleasant than it probably is.
Yeah,
Potential partners.
What it
Given
really
the
is.
context.
It's they're sexual partners, but they're also possibly business partners as well. So it's a very
What
strange
is the
premise.
setup?
It's a very strange premise. Anyways, so one of the men come through. I think it's the second round of men. They only have 6 minutes with her in the middle of this maze.
Gotta do this double time, gents.
And so the second man comes in wearing a thong.
Oh.
As you do.
And And
Bicon?
and he drops the thong almost right away, and then she notices that the thong is stained.
Is this what made you laugh?
Yeah.
And he included skid marks in his porno.
Well, we don't know what the stain was. We don't know how it was stained.
It was like coffee.
And,
Shit.
and she couldn't see what he was bearing because it was so small that it was hidden in his pubic hair.
Oh no!
No.
If
Is
you've
it
got
in?
just remember that if you've got a small dick, women laugh at you. Thanks for listening to our podcast. All right, you ready? I got one.
You didn't ask me, but cool.
Well, I figured we were just not going in order, and we could go whenever. Do you want to ask yours before mine? Mine's kind of stupid.
No, that was my question.
Yeah, he's got to answer the question.
You all answered.
Oh, go ahead.
My girlfriend was really
Okay.
loopy, and I called her a piglet.
Next.
Because she was not because not it's not a body thing. It was like she was just sort of confused. But she was really loopy. I think, and she had like a really rough day, so she was so tired, and she like couldn't figure out like something. And I was like, you're just like a babe pig in the city, just like wandering around. And we thought it was very funny. It's just a couples thing.
I like how
I'm not single.
Daryl's and mine was laughing at like other people's jokes. Yours was like laughing at something that happened to you. Luke's is just like, I did this funny thing and I wanted to talk about it.
And you came up with a question.
Wait, I didn't know this was the hardest time I laughed in the week when I came up with that question.
That's great.
I wasn't gonna be like, oh, you didn't ask me,
All right.
but I had one.
All right, boners. How many of you have given your question? You two gave your questions.
I
Brunson.
still have yet to. I don't have one.
You don't have one yet?
prepped
Okay,
at the
cool.
moment.
This one's you better think of it because this one's going to be lightning round. All right.
okay.
Favorite number and why? My two favorite numbers are 8 and 53 for opposite reasons. 8 looks very suave and very professional and prim and proper and like knows what it's doing. 53, if you've ever like drawn out 53, it looks like it's going, oh, I don't know, and it just looks like it's going all over the place. It looks very disorganized.
Wow.
I can answer 69 and 420.
Wow.
Excellent.
I'm just kidding.
Good memes.
It's 2, and I don't have a good reason why it's 2.
Okay.
It's just always been 2 since I was like 7.
Wow.
All right.
I like the number 30 because I felt like age-wise, I've always felt like really identified with the age of 30. And I also
On the
like,
inside.
there's something, I can't describe it, there's something like cordial and dignified about the number 30. I think like if 30 was a person, it'd be like a statesman.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
That?
I like the number 80 because in French it's really fucked up and it confuses the hell out of people.
Yeah.
80.
Yeah.
420. Oh, it's 420.
Hey, smoke it up, man. Yo, yeah, Jamaica, Dimitri.
Nice.
You heard that one. All right, Drew, hit us with the last question of the day. 3.
My
2,
question for you is:
1.
What is the most recent like piece of art you've purchased, and why did you get it? And
Video games don't count. That's for
I-
damn sure.
I am gonna limit it to I guess like a visual art kind of thing.
Visual art.
I've never
So
bought
can it
art
be
in my life.
can it be movies or like
I'm gonna say no.
okay, so
What?
it's visual art as in like a sculpture or a drawing.
Yeah, like something.
Drawing.
If you took a visual art class, something that would be made there.
My Kurzgesagt calendar has a lot of illustrations in it, and I like
counts?
that. And I bought it, I guess, in November of last year.
So you don't buy a lot of art.
I'm poor, Drew. I have 2 digits worth of money in my entire bank account continuously and drive an hour and a half to come here. You're privileged that I'm sitting here right now talking about, oh, guess what I just bought 2 days ago and 2 days before that? Visual art.
I
Go
did
fuck
not expect
yourself.
to be attacked for that.
Oh, Darel, tell us how many decades ago you fucking bought your last visual art.
Actually,
God damn it.
Now that I realize it is longer than you. That was 2 years ago, I think. Everybody's looking back. The door just creaked open. Anyway, so it was 2 years ago.
Art?
Bentley's a big art guy.
It's like the art goblin.
So while I think there was a improv summit in London.
Jesus Christ, this fucking door.
An improv summit in London?
Yeah, so
What?
there
Who
was
has those?
Oh, right, Western University.
Yeah,
Western,
true.
yeah. And so when the summit was finished, we stayed a little bit longer because there was what they called a punk rock flea market.
Oh yeah. My girlfriend does that.
Oh my
Actually, you
God.
probably saw her there.
I don't think so.
Oh my God,
I'm
Lindsay.
sorry.
You're such
She
a
comes up.
you're such a piss boy.
And what I bought there was there's an artist who he makes art posters for any musician or any whatever that comes through in this particular location. He makes the art poster for it. So I bought 2 or 3 of them. I don't really know the bands, but the art was so flippin' awesome. I was like, yeah, I gotta keep this.
Was it like super loud in there?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. My girlfriend was telling me.
Oh my God, you bitch baby Pride Month. Get over yourself.
What's your answer to the question, Luke?
What was the question again?
Oh my God,
What's the most recent visual art thing you have purchased?
A few months ago.
my girlfriend.
Actually, I bought this with my girlfriend. A few months ago, I bought my legal pad that I used to write to-do lists and stuff. That's the closest thing I've got.
Sweet dude.
Yeah, that's the closest thing I've got. I don't draw. I don't even draw. I just write stuff. I sometimes write scripts on it. Most of the time, it's to-do lists.
So, like, your most recent thing you bought, visual artist-wise, was just paper.
Was a memo pad, yeah.
Sweet dude.
With a cardboard back, so it's stiff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not the only thing that's stiff.
On that note, thank you very much for tuning in to the Credit Zero podcast by Afterschool Arcade. We do improv shows every month. We do these fucking podcasts every month. We do bonus stages if you sign up for our Patreon at patreon.com/AfterschoolArcade. We're also in the process of making other videos, and we hope that you'll enjoy those as well.
Yeah.
Don't forget that all 4 of us, to some extent, something or other, make content online. So be sure to check us out on our own little links there. This has been Tweed.
Luke!
Drew!
And we'll see you again. Bye!
Bye!
I'm gonna kill Justin Trudeau on March 12th at 3:06 p.m. Count on it!